say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sunday Night Blazing Pedals. TRJkarting.com. K&N Car here from Daytona, getting ready to go. We're getting set up on the backside. Going to bring you what it's all about here at Daytona Beach. And that is what Daytona International Speedway is all about. My name is Chris, and with me, as always, my good friend Rick. Rick, how are you tonight, brother?
Hey, buddy. Little computer issues, but we got it all figured out, man. I'm excited to be here in Daytona with you. I mean, the funny thing is, Chris, is before I came over to the shop with you, this is exactly where I should have been this week. So it's cool to be here tonight with you.
Yeah, this is awesome, man. And speaking of awesome, there is nothing left to do here except for to get ready for the grid walk. And of course, to do that, you have Terry Foster, and that is coming up right now. As soon as we can find Terry. Terry, this is Chris and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
I am sitting right here. What do you mean till you find me?
Oh, there you are, Terry. Hey, buddy. Listen, number one, look at that speed chart here in practice, sitting up on the top spot. Hello.
Who was that guy?
I know it, right? TNA representing pretty strong here. Top 3 on the
Top
speed
3,
chart. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Hey, who you got going on the walk tonight?
Let's find last week's winner there, Mr. Jamie Walker.
You got it, Terry. Go ahead.
Jamie, you got me.
Yeah, I got you guys. Go ahead.
Hey, bud, just real quick, man. Hey, last week, man, you just dominated us last week. You had that win well over a second there. Walk us through that a little bit, if you don't mind.
You know how it is. It's one of those short, flat tracks that I really excel at. Just, I don't know. I have an knack for those type of tracks. So yeah, that's pretty much played into my game there right away.
Oh, you had a hell of a race, that's for sure. Going plate racing tonight. Any kind of a strategy? Just gonna hang out, or what are you gonna do?
Hold your breath and
without
hopefully you can
giving
make
me
it to
any
the finish.
Okay, I'll say without giving me any secrets, as I already know what me and my team's doing. Looking forward in the season, man. We got a long season ahead of us. What are you looking for?
Well, tonight, for instance, I'm just gonna hang out at the back. You know, if I can make a move at the end, I will. If not, you know, so be it. I just want to finish tonight. As far as the season, I'm just gonna enjoy it, have fun, and see what happens. You know.
Well, I've seen you out there practicing with a couple guys. You don't have to tell me who it is, but do you have somebody in mind there to team up with tonight to help you around this track?
Whoever is in front of me at the end.
That's what I kind of thought about my guys too. If they're in front of me, fine. If not, well, I'll pick whoever is. So, all right, brother. Well, thanks for taking your time out there. I know we're trying to get this practice in here. So enjoy the race. Good luck tonight, and hope you see behind me.
Or in front of you.
Or behind me.
Yes, sir, man. Good luck tonight.
Thanks, buddy.
Good luck, Jamie.
Jamie Walker, driver of the number 88, along with Terry Foster, driver of the 86. Terry, thanks for taking us for a walk down pit road.
Hey, real quick, if you don't mind.
No, I don't mind. Go ahead.
I want to give a couple shout outs. My brother up here in Wisconsin, I know he's watching tonight. He's always texting me, asking me when we're racing. And I brought a new fan along. My buddy Tracy Cease. He lives up the road from me here. He wants to start watching us. So, hey, guys, hope you're enjoying the race. And Vaughn, if you're here, hope you guys enjoy the race.
And that's awesome. Bringing on the fans. I love it, Terry. Way to stack the chat, brother.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah.
I have an announcement to make.
Oh, boy.
He's not here tonight, but TNA Motorsports brought its 4th driver on this week, the one Noah Van Hoyt.
Oh, Van Hoyt coming on board TNA. Wow.
Yes, sir. He's off today. He has other things he's got to do, but he will be back next week with us.
That's awesome to hear, brother. All right, we got about 7 minutes to go, Terry, so we got to kick you on out of here and get ready for some high-speed action here at Daytona International Speedway. Good luck to you,
guys.
brother.
Thanks, man.
Good luck, bud.
That's Terry Foster, driver of the number 86, and so far, Rick, he is tops on the speed chart. Let's take a look at some track facts because, man, this is going to be something else. Listen, we're at Daytona International Speedway. It's big, it's fast, and the other thing to do, look out for that big one, Rick.
Big one is something that we definitely have to watch out for sure.
Tim, yeah, okay, it was pretty cool, right? I'm just saying, man, I found that video. Rick and I looked at each other like, yeah, we're using that, baby, because that is awesome. That's what Daytona racing is all about on the white sands of Daytona Beach. And of course, right here, we're just outside of those white sands. and man, getting ready to go. Listen, this is a 2.5 mile track, and we are getting set to see some really, really high speed out of these guys. I've got the Turn It Up cam ready to go. And you know what else I've got ready to go? I've got a new commercial for trjkarting.com. And trjkarting.com is your #1 online source for karting components, engines, and safety gear. They have a huge selection for the novice to the professional and a dedicated section for sim racers. No matter how you do it, your desire and passion to go fast fuels them. Our focus is to put our customers into victory lane. Tim, thank you so much, brother. Let's take a look at that new commercial. Pretty cool stuff. trjkarting.com, they are the main sponsor here for Blazing Pedals, and they are bringing you the K&N season #1 for these cars, Rick, right here at Daytona International Speedway. It is a 2.48 mile track. We'll call it 2.5 miles, 4 turns. Track temperature right now 98 degrees with a wind speed of 2 miles an hour out of the north.
It's looking to be a good night here for racing, Chris, man. I'm excited. You know who I am. I love Daytona.
Daytona is awesome, and we've got just under 3 minutes left to go before we go back to the green. But before we do that, Rick, we got that open qualifying, man, and that is going to be really awesome here for Daytona, because you're going to have teammates lining up, people working together, trying to get all the speed they can.
That's exactly what it's going to come down to, Chris. I mean, if you're out there and you're a driver that's not on a team, it's going to be tough out there tonight. You got to find somebody to hook up with and do your thing. You got guys like K&N Motorsports are going to be out there. You know they're going to go out there qualifying by themselves. I mean, right now they're running the top 3. You know, Terry Foster's still out there, followed by Aaron Bach over Corey Sherman. And I've been watching them during practice, Chris. All they're doing is they're just practicing that draft.
Yeah, this is going to be something else. And I have seen a couple of cars get torn up here during the practice session. Had a huge one with about 6 cars involved, one of them ending up on the roof. So the big one certainly is on the forefront here. Speaking of the big one, Rick, to just go back to last weekend in NASCAR, Ryan Newman suffering a huge big one in his own right. Thankfully, and thank God, Ryan Newman okay. He will race again. Ladies and gentlemen, I saw today he is determined to get back into that car.
I mean, definitely glad he's okay. I mean, that was a scary crash, Chris. And I mean, these guys, that's something that they got to worry about here. They don't have to worry about going to the hospital for a couple days. They don't have to worry about paying the, fix up their cars or being hurt or anything like that. But long season, it's only race number 2. I mean, we started out last week in Phoenix. Now we're here at Daytona. We're going to be following the NASCAR schedule just 1 week behind. It's a long season, but every point matters. Every stage point matters. So these guys really want to take care of their equipment. And man, am I thankful to see Ryan Newman. He's out there. He's better. I hope he doesn't rush it. Take his time, get back in there when he feels ready. But good to have the Rocket Man with us still.
Absolutely. Seeing that 3 car out there on track, being followed by the 86 of Kerry Foster. Corey Sherman holding strong on that 3, and man, looking good out there. Corey Sherman, of course, the Wrangler colors, even though it's not Wrangler on the side of the car. Man, looks good out there. 16 seconds left to practice. Open qualifying coming up right after this. About 10 seconds left. Rick, any thoughts here about what you have to do to win Daytona?
Well, man, I mean, you know what you got to do. You got to find a teammate out there that's going to be willing to push or to let you pass, so that way, after you're doing a little push and you can get some clean air, cool your car down. You got to watch out for the people who are working together, the 4-wide racing. We know it's not going to work out there. These guys need to take it nice and easy and just continue on and be there for the end.
And that's really what it is all about. Let's see. No, don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. Cars are starting to head out on track, Rick. Nico Kie in the 9. Oh, look at this. They're lining up. Look at that. The 18, the 41, the 9, the 16. Corey Sherman going to go. The 86 going to go with him. And this is just part of open qualifying. This is pretty cool. Look at all the cars. They're coming out together. Going to be looking to try and find their friends. This is really cool. This is why I like open qualifying, because you got 10 minutes to get your best lap. And this is just cool. Over 30 drivers set to start this race event here tonight at Daytona. And we are just waiting to get these things up to speed, man. This is going to be cool.
I'm just looking down through the list, Chris. Obviously, we got the Dr. Swatch Racing guys out there. Brian McRae, Kyle Wellman, Derek Paulson. We got Lost Cause Racing. Dalton Kilroy, Ryan Wash, Blake Decker, Corey Blevins, Aiden Wheeler, Ty Morosco. We got MT2, Adrian Pedro, Jacob Hope, Marquis Smith, Patriot Racing out there by himself, Chris Williams, Pontiac Excitement Racing, Andrew Beach, Jeff Price, Trenton Sneed, DNA Motorsports. Obviously, we already talked about those guys. Aaron Backover, Corey Sherman, Terry Foster. All those guys are going to be working together with their teammates. The guys that really have things to worry about are Nico Kie, Jamie Walker, Travis McChesney, Corey Rutherford, Hank Caston. Those guys don't have any kind of team, so they got to they're down there in the chat room by themselves, so they might work something out. But man, one thing I love about Daytona, Chris, it doesn't matter really where you qualify. Because no matter what, as long as you keep your car clean, keep it under you, and out of the big one, you're gonna be good. You can go from last to first in a matter of a half a lap.
Yeah, so many strategies to try and work out. Do you run the low line? Do you run the high line? Do you try and start up close to the front? Do you try and move your way to the back to try and avoid the big one? Certainly a lot of strategies trying to be played out here tonight.
One of the big ones, I'm glad I'm not out there racing right now. And if I was, man, I'd want you, as my wingman doing what we have to do, because you and I work so good together. Now, we just talked about a lot of guys. Nobody, everybody has more than 2 cars out there on their team. So, if one guy isn't comfortable running that inside lane, he wants to move up, he might leave you hanging. He might say, hey, listen, I got to go with these guys. I'm not comfortable down here, man. But what was nice when it was just you and me, we were able to talk, say, okay, high line, let's go. So that's something else that these drivers really got to think about.
And when you say it, you really got to commit to it, Rick, right? Because you can't dawdle. If you're going to change lanes, you got to say, hey, look, we're going to go, and you have to go. You can't wait, because everything happens here so fast. You're going 200 miles an hour, Rick.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. One thing that I love, something that you taught me too, because I used to be one of those guys that, hey, listen, let's get up front and let's just, that's where we want to be. But no, You know, the last couple of Daytonas that you and I done, big tracks, you know, you and I, you're like, hey, dude, let's just hang back here. We're going to hang out. We're going to stay clean. We're going to stay out of all the crap, and we're going to do this. And we're going to make our move at the end. That's something that these drivers really have to think about here tonight.
And they are so far. Hayden Wheeler, I think that's the first time I've said his name here in Blazing Pedals. Wheeler up front on the speed chart so far. 44.929. Backover behind him by about 0.24. So Backover's finding some speed. And you see the 86 move down, trying to find a little bit more. The Ford gets on the back bumper, trying to push him forward. A lot of drivers out there. Some haven't even taken a lap yet, Rick. About a little over half the field. 19 drivers so far have taken the track. And that leaves a few out there that have not. Among them, last week's winner, Jamie Walker.
Now, there's one guy that I forgot out there, Chris, who's out there all by himself. Ian Habiak up there. Of course, he's in his own channel with his dad, so he has the live spotter right there with him. That is going to be huge here tonight at Daytona, man. I mean, I don't care how good of a program you have. If you're using Crew Chief, if you move your Affine iFile so you hear things from your in-game spotter a little quicker, having Tim, his dad, there in his ear is going to be key here tonight. But man, Ian Habiak out there all by himself. The only Toyota, I think there was one more last week, and I'm going to go through the field really quick. I know we have a dog.
I'm sorry, did you say dog?
Dog. There's a dog out there right now. That dog is doing really good though. That's that 4 of Hayden Wheeler. I thought there was one more Toyota. But still, I mean, that's going to be huge. I mean, you know, having your dad as a live spotter, that is going to be huge. That's going to help you out quite a bit.
You know, we haven't looked at yet, Rick, and maybe we should before the end of this qualifying session here. In fact, yeah, we're going to. Let me just get rid of this real quick. I want to take a look at the points after last week. Up front, of course, no surprise, Jamie Walker, who ended up winning last week's race. Derek Paulson, Blake Decker, Adrian Pedra, and Jason Powell, the top 5. You see the cutoff line there. That is, of course, for the playoffs. 29 drivers started last week's race. We're going to have a little bit more than that here tonight. And one that I've not seen out there so far comes in tonight 10th in the point standings, but Taylor the Butcher Benjamin not out there as far as I can see.
Yeah, I'm not seeing him either, Chris. Now, one thing to think about here, you know, super speedways aren't for everybody. You got to be kind of crazy to really love these things. I mean, I know I am. And I love super speedways. They're a lot of fun for me personally. But, you know, they're not for everybody. A lot of guys might sit there and go, hey, listen, I know we got 30 some odd weeks here to go. I ain't too worried about it. I'm just going to skip
Oh,
tonight.
we're going to have a big one here in qualifying, Rick.
Tear up those tires,
Holy
boy.
cow. Just after TNA Motorsports takes over the top 3, there's a crash. That takes out a few drivers.
I kind of felt like Darrell Waltrip there for a second there, Chris, because I was watching Terry Foster and everybody else kind of disappeared, but he just stayed out there on track, man. I did. I felt just like, you know, Darrell, like, you know, hey, cool. You know, TNA just took the pole, but Terry's okay. But he's good.
I want to thank everybody for coming on out and watching the Blazing Pedals here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We really do appreciate you coming out, spending the Sunday night with us here. We love getting started a little bit earlier. I think that's going to end up helping us out here in the long run, Rick, especially here at Daytona, where, let's face it, you never know what you're going to get at this track.
No, I mean, we're all waiting for that big one. Now, Tim, just so you know, I know you're out there listening, buddy. As of right now, it looks like you are the only Toyota out there, so I hope your engine holds up. I see a lot of Chevys. I see Impalas and SS's and Monte Carlos. I see that dog. I mean, the Dodge. I see the Pontiac. Haven't seen one of those in forever, Chris. We got a couple Pontiacs out there tonight.
Pontiac, wow. Bringing out the old school.
Full Grand Prix, baby.
I love it. Watching Dalton Kilrow in the 41 trying to find his way around the track. He's got the 68 of Ryan Wash in front of him. And the 92 of Blake Decker. Those three drivers hooked up. The 24 out there. That's Corey Blevins. 4 cars lined up nose to tail. Should find some speed here if they can hold on to that nose to tail. You got 1 minute left of this open qualifying, Rick. And again, I want to thank everybody for coming on out to the Turn 3 Racing Network. You're going to be watching Blazing Pedals taking on Daytona International Speedway here tonight. And this is going to be a good one. I can't wait to get this one going, man. For me, even though we did ISM last week, Rick, for me, this is the season opener for these guys.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, Daytona, you get that last championship race, and the reason why these guys did it, for anybody out there that's new that might be following along here tonight in live chat or might watch the broadcast later on in the week. Cool thing that Blazing Pedals does is they take all their races from the whole season, they take out any road courses, any super speedways, and they make a list, and everybody is allowed to vote for those tracks to find out where the championship race is going to be. Last year, Chris and I came down to the tie-breaking moment, and we had a really good race at Michigan, so who knows where it's going to be this season. All I know is that I love how they do it, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
This is going to be good. We've got about a minute left of qualifying, Rick, and you know what? I'm going to step away for just a moment. I'll be right back. Rick, you can keep going if you want.
I'm just going down through the list here because I know that there was another Toyota last week. I can't remember who it was, but I am looking. I want Tim to have a teammate out there for Ian. But again, I think he's going to do really well. Just the live spotter is going to be huge.
Checkered flag on the open qualifying session is flying, and we're getting ready to get ready to race, man. This is going to be good. I'm ready to go. Rick, you?
Oh, man, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, buddy.
I mean, it's Daytona, baby. I mean, the only thing that could be better is if we went from, through Daytona into like turn 3, and then we ended up over at Talladega.
Oh, right on. Well, let's get ready to grid these guys up. Starting row number 1 on the inside, your pole sitter tonight, the number 44, TNA Motorsports own Aaron Bockover to his outside. It's the driver of the number 86. That's Terry Foster. Starting row number 2 on the inside, the number 3 of Corey Sherman, Hayden Wheeler in the 4 to his outside. Brian McRae, Big Daddy Squatch, going to be starting inside row number 3 in his number 35 with Hank Caston. Starting his number 5 on the outside, Corey Blevins in the 24. Going to be starting inside row number 4 with Dalton Kilrow to his outside. Kyle Wellman, Rick, going to be starting his 42 on the inside of row number 5 with Ryan Wash to his outside in his number 68.
And then in row number 6, we got the 92 of Blake Decker. Next to him is going to be the 6 of Derek Paulson. Row number 7 is going to be the 9 of Nick Okie. Next to him, the 85, Travis McChesney. Row number 8, the 16 of Ian Habiuk. And Brandon Dennis in his 95, going to be next to him. Row number 9, going to be the 55, Corey Rutherford. And the 18 of Jason Powell. Row number 10, the 40 of Deshaun Gorham. Hopefully he has a better race here this week than he did last week. David Bennett in the 13, going to be right on his outside. Patrick A in that 11, going to be starting out row number 11. Jamie Walker in the 88, last week's winner. Like you said, wanted to start down towards the back, Chris, so that's where he's going to go. Row 12, the 97, Jeff Hartline, the 71 of Andrew Beach. Row 13, 81, Trenton Sneed. Marquis Smith qualified that 21 back there tonight. Ty Morosco in the number 1, going to be starting out row number 14 with the 78 of Adria Petra. Row 15 is going to consist of the 14 of Jeff Price and the 7 of Chris Williams. And rounding out the field, Chris, at number 2 in row number 16, Jacob Hope.
Yeah, Hope going to be running shotgun on the field. D. Martin, you are so welcome. We're doing this more for us than we are for you, but I'm glad you like it because, you know, that's kind of cool. Getting ready to turn it up here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And you know what? We're not going to start with that, but we're going to eventually turn it up here tonight. Make sure you got your speakers loud, getting ready to go here tonight. The 86 sitting on the pole, Terry Foster with a huge surprise, a pole sitter here tonight. Excuse me, no, that's Aaron Bockover, the 44, who chooses to be on the outside. His teammate, Terry Foster, going to be starting second on the inside. That's how it's going to go from here on out. We are getting ready, and green flag rolls.
Yeah,
120 laps, man. Here we go.
I'm so excited. I just started talking, Chris. That was really smart there of Aaron Bockover to pick on the outside. That way he knew that he would be able to get down in front of his teammate and do what he has to do right now. TNA Motorsports bringing up the 1-2-3 right now.
Corey Sherman on the inside, trying to fend off the 4 to the outside, and shouldn't be a problem. The 4 kind of by himself, the 35 of Brian McRae stays down to the inside. So far, it's an inside lane. Oh, McRae sneaks out to the outside early.
And that's huge. McRae seeing that Hayden Wheeler needs a little bit of help there on the outside. So he says, hey, you know what the heck? Let's go out and do this. These guys got a long race, Chris. This is exactly what we should see.
Hank Caston in the 5 decides to stay on the bottom side. He's going to follow the TNA Motorsports drivers around. Past the start-finish line for the first time here tonight. Lap 1 completed. Aaron Bockover, your race leader. If this is your first time here on Turn 3 Racing Network, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. That'll certainly help us out, and tell these guys at Blazing Pedals you enjoy what they're doing. 31 drivers starting here tonight, and we are working lap number 2. Aaron Bockover, your race leader, and this is going to be a good one.
It really is, Chris. These guys doing a really good job. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm seeing that 4 right now of Hayden Wheeler blink a little bit, Chris. Not exactly what you want to be doing here at Daytona.
Oh, I just got a note from a certain somebody saying somebody else was done watching TNA. He's going to wreck them all. Here we go.
Oh, boy.
Do want to put out there, this is stage racing, and stage 1 going to be done at lap 36. Stage 2, 72 laps. Then it's a final jump right up to lap 120 for the checkered flag here tonight.
One interesting thing to note, Chris, there as you're going down through that, I was watching the 42, Kyle Wellman, having a little bit of issue going way down below that yellow line just to drop back. He was able to come out through.
Ooh, I was
just
just saying
like
that
we have
the
another
5,
driver doing that too.
Yeah, the 5 doing that.
You know, it's kind of fun being up front because, you know, that's where you think that it's going to be the cleanest and you're going to be able to do what you have to do, but it's pretty nerve-wracking up there, man. You know, run up good, make sure your car feels good up there, then drop back and relax. You got a long race ahead of you. We're only on lap number 4 right now. Trying to complete that to go to lap 5, but of 120 laps here tonight at Daytona.
Yeah, Hank Caston drops all the way back to 29th, Rick. Finally falls in line behind Adrian Pedra in the 78. Pedra, no slouch when it comes to these super speedways. 78, taking it easy so far. Your race leader, the 44, Aaron Bockover, being followed by TNA Motorsports' own Terry Foster and Corey Sherman. It's a 1-2-3 for TNA Motorsports. Hayden Wheeler trying to stick it in there and break them up a little bit.
And one question I have is for that driver, the number 5, that's Hank Caston, Chris. I saw somewhere on Facebook there earlier this week that he ordered an Active Force wheel, and I'm wondering if it came in, and maybe he's testing it out here tonight at Daytona.
And this is not the place I would be testing anything, but okay.
You know, that could be the thing, maybe why he dropped back. Maybe the force feedback set a little too high. You know, his arms are already getting tired, saying, hey, you know, I can't sit here and adjust anything up here in the mix, so let me fall back a little bit. And if you look further back, too, a lot of the guys, they're just going single file. They're just playing Paul the leader right now, and I think that's pretty smart. They're out there. They're able to see what's going on ahead of them in case a big one does happen. They're able to make the maneuvers they need to get through.
Yeah, it really starts with Brian McRae in the 35, who started this one 5th and has dropped back to 14th position, but a comfortable 14th. He's not out of the draft yet. It looks like the 42 of Kyle Wellman is behind him, so they could pick up the draft in a heartbeat. And in front of them, Rick, it is 2x2 all the way up to the race leader. And speaking of race leader, Hayden Wheeler trying to put the challenge on the 44 on the outside. They need a little bit more help, I think, on that outside line. This is something we haven't talked about, Rick. You got to be careful when you're pushing here. You could overheat, and that could be devastating, especially if you're up front.
No, you're absolutely right. One thing I do remember about the K9 cars, they line up really good. So you're able to get on there and you're really, you know, able to push. And I know some of the different manufacturers, different paint jobs that guys have out there, but the front ends are actually all the same. So they're able to get right on that back bumper of the car in front of them, push. And, you know, they don't have to worry too much, you know, about being 100% center. But one thing you do have to worry about is exactly, you got to watch that water gauge. If that water temp starts coming up, you got to back off. You got to pray that your teammates out there, you know, so you can go, hey, listen, I just need to pass you for a few laps, let my engine cool down, and then we'll go again.
Yeah, that's easier said than done sometimes, especially if you're up front right now, because these guys still running 2x2 for about the first 10 spots. Unbelievable. The 85, Travis McChesney, trying to sneak his way in. He's following the 16 of Ian Habiak. Habiak, whoa, way down under that yellow line. Habiak not where he wants to be right now.
You know, one cool thing, I mean, I can't wait for the turn it up cam, but one thing I can't wait, Chris, is when we go down into the live spot and see what's exactly going on. And I bet you that it might have been something that, you know, Tim might have asked Ian, hey, listen, how your temp plug? Oh, they're looking a little high, Dad. Okay, back out, let those guys pass, and just get in that clean air to cool it down a little bit. Now, these guys that are running nose to tail, they're being smart because they're staying and keeping a gap from the car in front of them. They're hanging on to that draft. They're able to work together to catch up to that lead pack if they need to. But their cars, they're staying nice and cool right now.
And that 4 car of Hayden Wheeler having some serious blinking issues. The 24 behind him of Corey Blevins has got to be a little concerned. As we take an aerial coverage provided by TRJkarting.com tonight here at Daytona. These guys still running practically 2x2 for the first 10 spots. The 85 not hanging in, so make it the top 8 2x2. The top line formed in a much better than the bottom line here so far.
You know, that's something that's really kind of surprising for me to see, Chris, is how many or how few cars are out there on that lead pack going 2x2. Everybody else kind of just doing the single file, doing what they got to do. Like you said, kind of Brian McRae is the one that has that whole line started there.
New race leader, Rick. Hayden Wheeler takes control, and he drops down to the bottom side. That leaves Corey Blevins up top, trying to take position on the outside. The 41 following him through. And Hayden Wheeler still having some serious issues with blinking.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be Aaron Bach over right now.
No.
Now Blevins and Kilroy doing a great job.
Well, Blevins sneaks down in front. He takes over the control of the field, and the 41 of Dalton Kilroy left outside. He's got Blake Decker in the 92 right behind him, along with the 68 of Ryan Wash. Those 3 cars trying to work well here on the outside, and we are starting to break up that pack just a little bit, Rick. Top 6 drivers running side by side.
That blinking has me nervous, man. I'm not even there behind the wheel.
Oh, I hear you. I'm watching it. My heart's going pitter patter every time that car disappears, knowing that the 44 of Aaron Bockover could make a wrong move here. Every time that car disappears, it's a pucker moment. 31 drivers start here tonight. All 31 drivers still on the track after 12 laps. And Dolan Kilroe in the 41. He's running that turn motor. Trying to take a lead from the 24 on the outside. Can't quite get there though. The inside does have a small advantage. It is the quicker way around the track. And that time by the 41 takes control of the field. That's Dolan Kilroe, Rick.
Now, while you're up there watching out front, Chris, I'm back here watching these guys battle it out. One guy that is making some moves, the 88 GoDaddy machine, last week's winner at Phoenix, Jamie Walker, making his way through the field, sitting in 21st position right now. He's trying to battle it out with Jacob Hope in the U-Haul machine. Jeff Hartline moves on to the outside to help Jamie Walker. So does Adrian Pedro in the 78. Says, hey, let's get a train moving here, boys, because this inside lane is just pulling away from us right now.
And definitely two separate groups going on here. The 21 of Marquis Smith leading this pack. He's got the 71 of Andrew Beach right behind him, along with Jeff Price in the 14. That outside line, starting with Pedra, trying to get it going. And why wouldn't you try and team up with the 88? You know he is fast. Up front, though, it's the 41 of Dolan Kilroe, still leading the way here at Daytona. And Rick, it's a little early, but I can't help myself. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to turn it up for the first time. the 92 of Blake Decker. Decker takes control from the 41, and the 68 of Ryan Walsh followed him through. Make sure you do, as Rick said, check out trjkarting.com and go to drsquatch.com. Use code CESRA15 for 15% off your first order. I recommend Bay Rum, and I also recommend Pine Tar. If you get dirty for a living, there ain't nothing wrong with that. But that Pine Tar will certainly clean those hands right up.
Or if you live where you get a lot of sun, you get sunburns a lot, go with the aloe, because that one's good too. Peter Citrus is great. Old Coffee Brew. They're all good.
They're all good, Rick.
Oh yeah, I love me some Bay Rum. And I love seeing that number 92 out there, powered by the Mark Arthur chassis, doing what he has to do. Old Woodside having a good run out there right now.
The 85 McChesney and the 18 of Jason Powell trying to get it done by themselves on the outside. Everybody else lined up on the inside, and that definitely makes it tough. 2 cars versus 6, Rick?
That's the thing right now. I mean, it's anybody's game, and that's what I love about Daytona. But the 85, the 18 doing a good job trying to get that outside lane to do something right now. That 85 looking fast. And you know, Chris, this week it's going to be a little warm here in Vermont, up here in the North Country. I'm going to have to try to find my shorts so I can put them on, take a picture with my TRJ karting sweatshirt, because that's how us Vermonters roll. We wear the shorts, but we still have the sweatshirt going.
The McChesney shorts.
Oh boy!
Oh, we got pit stops coming in. And not to be remiss, but the Teen A guys. Oh, the 18 has big time troubles trying to get in. Slides that thing all over the place, this Powell. But as I was saying, Teen A Motorsports already came down for pit stop number 1. They did that, oh, let me see, about 5 laps ago. And we have a new leader. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the 85 McChesney, and he is out there all by himself. Nobody around. And that is not good here at Daytona.
Oh, that's one thing. I mean, a lot of guys, they don't think about that, Chris, and it's hard when you're not a part of a team, too. You know, you got to know when people are going to pit. And if they do what they just did there, man, everybody was just following along, doing what they had to do. Next thing you know, a bunch of cars break off. The 85 was like, whoa, I'm out here by myself. I'm not going to be able to slow down in time, so I'm going to do another lap.
Todd, thank you for shouting out to us. Yeah, man, that opening was awesome. And that is what racing is all about. Let's not forget that. McChesney comes in, and that's going to leave Chris Williams in the 7 out there again, all by himself, Rick. Nobody to work with. Of course, McChesney comes down pit road with nobody to work with when he comes back out, and that could be a problem as well. Got a lot of guys coming down pit road now. Looks like the only other driver, oh, he's doing it right now, is Hartline. So everybody is coming down. Chris Williams still hasn't actually taken the lead yet, Rick. He was so far behind. And again, that's not a bad thing here. It's just making sure he stays out of trouble. Looks like he's setting up to come on down pit road this time by. We'll focus in on Blake Decker in the 92, who gave up the lead to come down pit road. Decker's led 3 laps so far, and right now being scored in 4th spot. Trying to get that back as the 3 drivers ahead of him sitting on pit road, including Ty Morosco, Chris Williams, and Jacob Hope. You got drivers coming off in pit road as Blake Decker reassumes the lead. Dalton Kilrow right behind him, along with Ryan Walsh and the 95 of Brandon Dennis. The 42, Kyle Wellman, right with these drivers. So top 5 really did a great job with their pit stops. And it looks like they're going to do, they're in a good spot here, because 6th spot, Terry Foster, a little further behind, about almost 4 seconds, Rick.
Yeah, but he's got a train of cars behind him, Chris. So as long as those guys keep working together, keep a single file like that, they're going to be able to move up pretty quick.
Todd, if you're trying to get in and you haven't yet, make sure you talk to either Mark Arthur or Sam Baumgarten. Two admins here at Blazing Pedals. They are great guys, and I'm sure they would love to have another driver or 5. Right now, 31 start tonight, and there are 31 still out on track. And amazingly, we are on lap 25. Not a single caution here tonight. These guys definitely pulling it on here tonight. And you know, last week, Rick, it was kind of caution filled, but I knew Mark Arthur was not going to put up with that. And look how clean they're driving here tonight.
Well, you know, Chris, it's always hard there. I mean, we've been there before in the driver's shoes. You know, you take a really long off season, you hop back in, you get some new members out there, you start your season, and it's a wreck fest. I mean, your last season was so great. I mean, that race at Michigan there last season, the championship race, fabulous, man. Then they had that long off season, so, you know, they got a little rusty. They didn't only take a long break, they also switched the vehicle that they're driving. These guys, the last few seasons, have been racing the truck. They just had to bring the K&N cars back. This is how you and I first got started to broadcast. You know, we're used to seeing these guys in these cars, but after driving the truck, you know, you're hopping into something 100% different, and they had to learn that too. So not only did they have a long break, they have a new vehicle, they have a lot of new drivers that haven't raced, but you're right. That race, I mean, it started out good, then the cautions started coming out. Cautions breed cautions. We know how that works. And actually, in the Discord channel, there was a challenge put out for the Sunday night guys. Try to run with no cautions except for the stage cautions that'll be coming out. And so far, these guys doing a fabulous job out there.
Absolutely. And we expect that out of these guys. These guys are some of the more professional drivers in any league out there in iRacing. And I do want to bring this up because stage racing, Ricky kind of brought it up. Stage 1 ending on lap number 36. So that is right around the corner.
Yeah, these guys only got about 10 laps left to go before that caution flag will be coming out. And that's going to be a good break for them. I think we're going to see pit road get pretty busy again. It's going to give these guys a chance to loosen up their shoulders, you know, relax their hands a little bit, retighten the belts, grab a drink.
Yeah, you're right, Rick. And, you know, I'm looking at the scoring right now. 23rd through 31st, at least one lap down. That'll give these guys an opportunity to, like you said, they're going to kind of gain their composure back, figure out what it's going to take to get back on that lead lap. And I believe some of these guys are going to have a really good idea. One of the drivers on that one lap down status is going to be Ian Habiuk in his number 16. Hate to see that for Ian, but I'm sure Tim has got a plan.
Oh yeah, and right now it seems like everybody has a plan, Chris. I mean, these guys that are racing out back, they're just going to take it easy. I mean, there's a little bit of 2-wide racing we're watching right now with a few of those guys, but you know, I think they're just doing the right thing. And of course, I was a little confused there because I was watching Ty Morosco. Ty Morosco, he's going on my screen 3 laps down, or 2 laps down now. Doing it the old-fashioned way.
Now I'm watching Ian Habitt going around this track. He started in 15th, back to 25th. Like I said, 1 lap down, but he has got a group of drivers around him. 11 drivers, it looks like. Trying to form up the pack, amongst them the 88 of Jamie Walker. TNA Motorsports all back there as well. We have the 86 of Terry Foster, the 3 of Corey Sherman, the 44 of Aaron Bockover, and the 4 is with them. We saw him leading some of this race.
And, you know, looking through a lot of the teams, Chris, right now, it looks like TNA Motorsports and Lost Cause Racing, they're doing their best to stay with each other. Now, you see the Dr. Squatch guys, the Dr. Squatch Racing, the 35 and the 6 are starting the team up there. They're looking for a couple more of their teammates, but you know, right now, TNA Motorsports, they haven't gotten too far away from each other at all.
No, they've been nose to tail throughout this entire race. And, you know, that's kind of the way you need to be here at Daytona. Lap 31 of 120, which means we've got stages coming right around the corner, or rather stage 1. And some of these drivers, that's exactly what they're looking for. Others, maybe not so much. Maybe they like being in those packs a little further away from the race lead, which right now is being controlled by Blake Decker, Colin Kilroe, and the 95
free
of Brandon
ride.
Dennis.
Free ride racing there. The number 4, Aiden Wheeler out there. He's finally said, okay, boys, I'm going to let you go, but please be careful.
Aiden Wheeler, one of those guys that's had some blinking issues here tonight, and he is to the far outside lane, and that doesn't last very long as they start to 2x2 it up again.
It was a little scary there for a second. I'm not even driving.
Yeah, Walker drops down to the inside, and that does separate those TNA drivers a little bit.
He does right now. I don't want to say nothing in case Terry's listening, but Terry, don't look in your rear view.
Well, you know he's got the black box up, and he is just watching the 71 way up top. That's Andrew Beach with nobody to work with. Watch how fast he gets past. Lap number 33 of 120. Blake Decker, your race leader so far. He's led 12 laps of this event, which is the most of any driver so far here tonight. Had to get a little Miller in there, Rick.
You gotta have the Miller.
I was getting dry.
Unfortunately, I'm drinking just water tonight, but that's okay.
Got a new race leader, Rick. It's Don Kilrow. That Turn 3 Racing Network engine doing its job out there. The 92 fighting back on the outside. Ryan Wash sitting on the inside of that 92. Kyle Wellman, Brandon Dennis, and Corey Blevins all part of that top group.
Daddy-O's number 41 looking pretty good out there tonight. Chris doing what he has to do. Right now, that 68 is his best friend saying, hey, man, just stay with me. Morosco, he's in there.
68 decides to go up top. He picks up the 92 of Blake Decker. And Ryan Wash trying to go for the race lead here. Ryan Wash in the 68 to the outside. Dalton Kilrow fights back on the inside through the corners. Down that long backstretch here at Daytona.
And these guys are doing exactly what they need to do, Chris. I mean, a lot of people might not know, but they are all part of Lost Cause Racing. I can't even talk. Dalton Kilrow, Ryan Wash, Blake Decker, Blevins, Wheeler. Morosco's there helping out his teammates.
Yeah, Wash takes over the lead at the start-finish line. The 92 trying to fight on the outside. He's got the 42 of Kyle Wellman trying to help him out on that outside lane. Again, I want to thank everybody for coming out here on a Sunday night to the Turn 3 Racing Network. You're watching the Blazing Pedals at Daytona International Speedway, and it's been a good one here so far. A lot of different leaders, Rick, and it's been interesting so far, man. The field is very split up.
It is. That's not going to last long, Chris, because once this lap is done, you're going to have that stage-ending flag come out. But you're right. So far, Blake Decker leading 12 laps here tonight. We got Bockover, who's led 9. You got Kilrow with 6. Ryan Wash with 3. Blevins with 3. Williams is 1, and McChesney with 1 also. There we go. Stage number 1 in the books, Chris. Dalton Kilrow.
Kilrow in that 41 going to be your stage 1 winner here tonight. Congratulations to that 41. So, first stage goes without a hitch. 0 cautions, Rick.
That's just outstanding now. Of course, we talked about this, so it is a long race. These guys are staying patient. They're making moves when they can. But, you know, this is only stage 1. We got stage 2, and then we got the final. That's where things are going to get crazy.
Yeah, with 83 laps to go. It's still anyone's race, but stage one belongs to this man right here, the 41 of Dalton Kilrow. Pit stop's going to be coming, Rick, and I believe pit road going to get very busy here tonight.
Oh, you know it will be.
Ian Habiak being scored, the first driver, 1 lap down, should get the lucky dog here to put him back on the lead lap. And here we go down pit road. A lot of different strategies going on here.
Well, we got to remember these guys came down for a green flag pit stop not that long ago, Chris. So maybe they're feeling confident their tires are okay, just getting some topped off with some fuel.
Rick, what do you say we try and get a hold of Don Kilrow now that he's done with his pit road service? Talk to the stage one winner. Oh, and this is Chris and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
10-4.
Well, bud, stage one down and in the books. You were top dog there, and you led 9 laps in that first stage. How's the car feeling?
It's feeling so good, he's speechless.
I forgot I'm on push to talk. I'm wanting to punch myself in the jaw. Car's feeling pretty good. Had some pretty hard but good racing up here at the front, and just hoping to keep it clean for the rest of the race.
And that turn 3 Racing Network engine, how's that doing?
It's running a little hot when I'm behind somebody, but when I get out up in front of the pack, it's running pretty damn good. So, good job, you guys.
All right, bud. Well, listen, congratulations on winning stage 1, and continued good luck to you right now. You're going to be starting in 4th spot. That was the that was the 41 of Dalton Kilrow trying to get it done with that turn 3 Racing Network engine. And Rick, we're not done yet.
Well, no, I mean, you know, these guys, they're the stage, they're sitting there, they're like, oh man, finally. You know, they're taking a little breather, they're going a little slow around the track, getting their drinks, their beverages of choice down their gullets.
Hey, I am too.
Nothing wrong with that.
Brandon Dennis, your new race leader. He's in the 95. Led 1 lap here under caution. Again, aerial coverage for tonight's race provided by trjkarting.com. trjkarting.com is your #1 online source for karting components, engines, and safety gear. They have a huge selection for the novice to the professional and a dedicated section for sim racers. No matter how you do it, your desire and passion to go fast fuels them. Their focus is to put their customers into victory lane, and man, do they ever.
They do. I mean, one thing, you know, folks, if you're not interested in any car stuff, go there. If you're a sim racer, Tim's got it all laid out, a nice little tab there. You click it, all the gloves come up, all the racing shoes. I got a pair of Alpine Stars myself, and actually I've used them a couple of times this weekend. I did a little bit of iRacing, and I got my autism gloves. Man, I love those things. My t-shirts, my sweatshirts, obviously I love them. My hat, you got it all down pat, man.
Yes, sir. The 9, Nick Okie, trying to come down pit road. Maybe a little last-minute service. As the pace car lights are off, Rick, about 2 miles left. And we're going to throw these guys back under the green flag. The TNA. Oh, go ahead, Rick.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say TNA had a plan, but it looks like they've gotten separated a little bit. Aaron Bach over in the 44 to the outside of your race leader. Terry Foster going to be starting in 4th spot. No, excuse me. 5th spot. And Curtis Shorman being scored in 9th position, although, yeah, that's correct. No, it's not. It'll be 10th.
Yeah, guys, got to catch up a little bit there to make the scoring on our screens to be correct. But you're right, though, Chris. I mean, they are broken up a little bit, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. I mean, with Terry Foster down there below, he can let off just a little bit, let the 44 in there if he needs to. Corey Sherman's got some work to do there, the Shermanator in that number 3. He's got some cars to move out of the way before he can get up behind Terry Foster there. But, as I was going to say here before the pace car goes down, these guys, the team leaders are sitting there going, okay, boys, listen, we still have another stage to go. Let's just be calm, smart, do what we have to do. And let's do it again just like we did in stage 1, caution free. But you got to know that some of those drivers out there, Chris, are like, man, first stage done, I got to go.
Pace car dropping down, Rick. We're getting ready to go back under the green flag. Brandon Dennis takes the green as we get going once again here at Daytona International Speedway.
And look at that, the 44, Aaron Backover moves right down, Chris, as soon as he possibly can. So that puts 2 of the 3 TNA Motorsports drivers together. Like I said, Corey Sherman stuck on that outside lane right now, has some work to do to catch up to his teammates. But right now, they're still looking good. And look at this, Jamie Walker moving up behind the 86 Cheap Tobacco Old Dominion Chevrolet of Terry. And look at Aaron Backover, man, pushing Dennis like crazy right now.
Yeah, Backover wants to go, and he's got his teammate right behind him, Terry Foster in the 86, looking very racy tonight. Of course, like you said, Rick, the 88 of Jamie Walker alongside for the ride behind Terry Foster. On the top side, you've got the 41 of Dalton Kilroe, stage 1 winner. And Kilroe is trying to get it done. He's got Ryan Wash behind him along with Corey Blevins and the 92 of Blake Decker.
And of course, they're all members of the Lost Cause Racing on that outside lane. That's exactly where they want to be right now. TNA Motorsports, not only do they have somebody who they're not familiar with out in front, Aaron Backover doing a good job just hanging on to the back bumper there of Dennis, though. Terry Foster doing a good job helping out Aaron Backover. And then there's one car in between their next teammate. That's Jamie Walker. Now, let me tell you, Chris, if I was these guys, I'd be like, hey, Jamie, you're now part of us.
Yeah, I'd be on the radio, just like you said, saying, hey, right now you are Team TNA, but not the case, of course. As the Shermanator in the 3 trying to catch him. He's falling back just a little bit. He's trying to get the 11 of Patrick A.
Oh, boy.
Oh, we got the big one,
Boy.
the 86 and the 44 involved. TNA getting wiped out, the 3 able to get through. Oh, it is the big one. Oh, my goodness. Look at the wreck and carnage we've got here. Oh, man, what a shame.
We went from a race to a parking lot.
Oh, look at the cars just unable to go, stuck on the embankment. Oh, man. Aaron Backover gets it going. The 24 looks like his engine is expired. And we're going to have to back it way, way up, Rick. Really unfortunate. But Team TNA as they were running in the top 6. Oh, the 44 just had too much going on. And oh, look at the carnage. They just stack up as nobody was expecting it. Oh, man. We're going to go back one more time. Watch this from way up high in the turn 3 blimp. The 44 gets it started. Oh man, the 24 goes up and over and ends up on his tires, and then it's just a parking lot after that, Rick.
I mean, there's so many cars, Chris. I'm trying to find out who was involved in everything, but there's just
too many.
Carnage everywhere. I mean, that's plate racing.
It is.
You know, the 85 just moved up just a little bit. Stockover was hooked onto his back bumper. You know, I talked about it earlier, Chris. You know, these cars, they're pretty solid when you're out there drafting. You know, you don't have to be lined up 100%, but it doesn't take much to move.
Yeah, let's get a word in from the admin, see what they're saying.
He can't complain about that. But couldn't. Trying to see what they're talking about. Somebody flying around.
Jacob Hoppy manually disconnected. Let's see what happened.
I don't see what. I don't see another car come flying around. I see Hayden. Looks like he comes. And I don't see anything other than people just trying to check up. Holy moly. There was a big pile up there behind everything.
Fucking.
The wreck in the back was worse than the one in the front. It's bad. But I don't see where. I mean, I don't see anything egregious. I just see people trying to check up.
Where's the pace car at?
Turn 1.
Thank you.
Holy fuck.
Hey. Do that. You know that they listen in.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
What the hell? Hey, Mark, can you look at the 78? Well, my shifter just cuffed. Guys, if it's not important, stay off the radio, please.
Can I tell Travis that that was like the worst fucking netcode I've ever seen in my life?
Intentional. Yeah.
I promise you that wasn't intentional. I was going to go to third gear, and then I went to first.
Not intentional. Keep it off the air, guys. Come on.
Well, Rick, as you can hear, there's a lot of disappointment and a lot of trying to figure out exactly what happened to a couple of those drivers, as I mean, it was very, very odd looking, a few of those drivers, and one of them just kind of downshifted wrong, and it was just a mess. But here we are, pace car lights are off. We're getting set to go back to the green flag. New race leader Dalton Kilroe to his outside, Jamie Walker, Corey Sherman, the lone TNA driver to kind of get through that one. Ian Habiak to his outside, gonna restart in fourth. Nick Okie going to restart 5th, and Patrick A restarting upside on throw 3 in 6th spot.
Well, you know, Chris, I mean, I can't exactly hear what's going on there, but I will hear it on the broadcast there. But, you know, disappointment, I can understand it. But in another right, these guys have raced 40 some odd laps there before there was a caution out there. And I mean, you know, when you're out there and you're pack racing, when you're driving, man, I mean, you're kind of focused. The tunnel vision comes in. You're looking out your front windshield, glancing up towards your rearview mirror, you know, trying to figure out what's going on. And then all of a sudden something happens. So, you know, some people's instincts, get off the gas. Another one might be tapping the brakes. One guy might downshift a little bit. And, you know, that makes carnage. But let me tell you, there is one guy out there that I watched through that, Chris. I went back and looked at the replay. Let me tell you, Ian Habiak did a hell of a job getting through that, Chris. He threaded the needle I don't know how many times, and that's why he's sitting up there in 3rd place right now.
Sean Gorham did kind of get through, although he does have some carnage on there. We got one guy in the TRJ Karting Infield Care Center. We're going to get to him just after we go back to the green flag, and it is unfortunately none other than TNA Motorsports own Terry Foster. But right now, getting ready to go back to the green flag, Dalton Kilroe hits that loud pedal. We start getting loud once again here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Terry Foster, driver of the number 86, Chris and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys. What a hell of a race, huh?
Man, that is not the way that you guys had it drawn up on the board, I'm sure. But you do have one driver out there still fighting. Right now, running in 3rd spot, it's Corey Sherman.
Yeah, hopefully Corey will bring us the top 5, at least the top 5 of the TNA Motorsports team tonight. But I don't know what happened. I think 44 just touched the leader a little bit, just got him turned, and now all hell broke loose.
Yeah, it was something else. The 86 going to be able to make it back out on track here tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to get her back out there, turn some laps. I've got about another 15 minutes left of repairs to do, and I'm going to be slow as heck, but I'm going to get it back out there, just get them valuable points, man.
Well, that's what it's all about, Terry. Each single lap you turn is a point that you could earn.
Oh, yeah. So that's the plan. And, yeah, we kind of had a plan drawn out for tonight. It was working. But just like everything else, falls apart sometimes.
Yep, best laid plans every single time.
Right, man, that's right.
Especially at a super speedway, Terry. I'm glad to hear that you're okay. And we're going to get you back out in your car here in about 15 minutes.
All right, buddy. Hey, thanks for talking to you guys. And I'll go back down here and help these guys spot a little bit for Corey.
All right, Terry. You have yourself a good one. We'll see you back out on track.
Thanks.
And that is a driver of the number 86, who is, well, he's seen better days, no question about it. He was really racy here tonight and just not going to get the finish that he was looking for. But Corey Sherman, his teammate, look at this. He's in 2nd spot, Rick, with Ian Habiak right behind him. Dalton Kilroe is leading the way. A lot of these drivers doing okay. They avoided that big one that we talked about at the very beginning of the race, although you're looking at 13 of David Bennett. You see a little bit of damage to the left rear of that number 13. The 71 also has some damage. That's Andrew Beach. But man, there's a lot of drivers out there with a lot worse. At least these guys able to keep up with the draft so far. And man, that is what it is all about here at Daytona. So Dalton Kilroe, Corey Sherman running 1 and 2. Garrett Paulson on the outside in that crisp IPA Dr. Squatch machine running on the outside. Ian Habiak challenges for 3rd, and he's got it. Here comes the 88 of Jamie Walker trying to make that inside lane move. Watch out for the 11. That's Patrick A. And Patrick having a good time out there. Absolutely Mike's favorites. We got to get him back out on track. And you know, every lap does count. So points are important. And we talk about that from the very first lap all the way to the championship run. It's all about points. Ooh, the 88 sneaks down below the yellow line. He's trying to find a way back in. Can't quite do it yet. Now he does, behind the 71 of Andrew Beach. Now he's got to get back up to speed. He's got the 68 of Ryan Wash, who is outside, and behind him the 5 of Hank Caston. Caston being scored 1 lap down in that number 5. Up front, it is Dalton Kilroe leading the way, somehow managing to keep that 41 out of the last caution, and Corey Sherman right behind him in the 3, running in second spot. Paulson trying to get it done. He's got the 14 of Price right behind him. Jeff Price trying to push him to the front. Got to get on that back bumper, Jeff, in order to do it. The 78 steps back out on track. That's Adrian Pedra, as that first group of cars goes right around him. The 41 machine of Dalton Kilroe, stage 1 winner here tonight. Looking for more as we're working lap number 54 of 120. Make it 55 as Kilroe leads one more time here tonight. He's led 21 laps here at Daytona. Let's keep in mind that this is stage racing. Next stage is going to end on lap number 72. But before we get there, we've got 66 laps to go. Kilroe way down below that yellow line. Kilroe still trying to figure out a way back up and in. Can't quite. Now he does it. Ooh. Way to stop my heart, bud. Get back up there in that 41. Derek Paulson takes over the race lead. He's got Corey Sherman there with him. A little bit of ways away, but that may not be great news for Paulson as this one stretches out big time under caution. Not sure what happened. Gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. Oh, it looks like it's the 7 of Chris Williams, so we're gonna go back. Figure out what happened here to Chris Williams in the 7 car. Running over the 55. Oh, the 55 of Rutherford gets into him. And the 7 comes down to a halt. We are under caution one more time. And we're going to take a listen in to see what race control has to say about this one. Sage laps in this one. I got you covered. Next stage lap going to end on lap number 72. Then it's a shootout to the end. We're going to go to race control now and listen in.
All right, guys, that was between
well, there you have it. It's on the 55. He's going to receive the end of line penalty and a first strike. Derek Paulson is your race leader right now.
And you know, Chris, the whole reason why that one came out, the 55, just hit that yellow line just a little bit now. I mean, you can do that maybe on the straightaways, but when you come into a corner, it doesn't take much to upset these cars or any car out here that you race.
Absolutely. Well, under this caution, I think we're going to go side by side. Rick bringing up a commercial, and we'll be right back. We're back with Derek Paulson as your race leader, Ricky, and Habia going to take up second spot. We got 2 drivers in the infield care center. Let's bring up, let's bring them up, Rick. Let's talk to him. Chris Williams, driver of the number 7. Chris and Rick up in the booth. You got a copy.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Well, bud, it's going okay up here, but down there maybe not so well. Why don't you take me through that last one?
Just a little less front end damage in the cars that I was running with, so I was going to try and lead them back up through there, but 55 decided to turn right instead of going left, and one thing led to another, and that was it, man.
Awesome, man. And unfortunately, I don't know, are you done for the night?
Yeah, I've got 40 minutes worth of damage, and it's gonna, unfortunately, was just hoping to ride around there in the back before the first big one, and then got caught up in another little one when a guy missed a shift, and then this one. So it's time to go have a beer and watch what's left of the race.
Well, I'm with you on the beer, bud. Go ahead and check us out there on YouTube, Turn 3 Racing Network. And Chris, we will look forward to seeing you next week, bud. Good luck.
All right, man. Thanks for what you guys do.
All right, Chris. Thank you. And that's one. Rick, why don't you go ahead and take Blake there?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, Blake, you got Rick and Chris up there in the booth, man. Obviously, you're okay, but what's going on, bud?
Come again? Come again?
A little bit of issues there in the radio. Let's try this again, Blake. So you're doing really good, man. You're running up front. You led some laps here tonight, and then boom, all of a sudden, not your night. Take me through it.
Yeah, it's kind of a devastating way to end a good night. I mean, we had a pretty good strategy worked out. I'm not going to give it away for obvious reasons. Some people are still in the race we were working with, but I don't know. I think we played the first stage really smart. Was able to do quite a bit that we wanted to. At the end of the tire run, it was kind of sketchy getting pushed from behind. I'm sure you guys saw when I was blocking Brandon and he hit me from behind. It was a kind of scary moment there, and it was just kind of heartbreaking way to end it. We had a really good car, was running really good, was hopeful to get a win here at the end, but unfortunately I'm down on power now, so just going to try and salvage some points out of the day.
All right, but we'll get that 92 out there, run those laps and get it done for us, and good luck the rest of the way, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week, Blake.
Thank you. I'll see you.
Blake Decker, driver of the 92, trying to nurse that car away for a finish here tonight, and unfortunately that's about as good as he's going to do. Right now, Derek Paulson is your race leader. He's got Ian Habiak to his outside, Big Danny Squatch to the inside second row, running in third spot. Corey Sherman in the 3 to the outside. Nick Okie running in the top 5th spot.
Look at that 88 into the 6th position, Chris. He's Jamie Walker making his way through the field as the race goes on, sitting in 6th in that 88. He's got Dalton Kilrow, got a little bit of pressure there on the outside.
Yeah, make that 7th, Rick, as these guys were a little misaligned, but starting to line back up now as we're getting ready to go back to the green flag. Pace car lights are off for working lap number 60, going to be 61 when they cross the start-finish line. And the 6th car of Derek Paulson has control. Trying to get there. Ian Habiak with a great restart. Trying to hold on. And Rick, I think that was a good time. We're going to drop right down into that live spotting for the 16 of Ian Habiak.
Outside, 2x2 behind you. Outside, 2x2. Outside, 2x2. Outside on your door. Outside on your door, 2x2 behind you. Outside, 2x2 behind you. Outside, 2x2 behind you. You got the 6 behind you, 35 behind you, and 88 outside. 1 outside. You got number 5 coming outside on your bumper. 6 is right behind you, 2x2 behind you. You got the 5 right on your bumper. 5 is outside, Jamie's outside, 6 and 5 behind you, 6 and 5, 2x2 behind you. Got the 88 outside. 88 outside, 6 and 5 behind you, 2x2. outside. You got number 5 coming around the outside, side drafting. All right, he's at your bumper. The number 5's at your bumper. 6 is behind you, 1 length back. Single file behind you, 4 cars deep, 5 to the outside. 5 is on the outside, 6 behind you. Single file, 4 cars deep, 88 and the 5 to the outside at your door. 88 and 5 are 1 lane up. Stay glued to the yellow. Give a little bit of space. There you go. 2 by 2 behind you. You got 5 and 6, 2 by 2 behind you. 88 to the outside. 88, 1 lane up on the outside. 5 and 6, 2 by 2 behind you. 88 to the outside at your bumper. Number 6 is 3 car lengths back. 3 car lengths back to the 6. 88 and number 5 to the high side. Single file. You got number 6 closing your gap on the inside behind you. 88 to the outside, 5 and 6 behind you, 2 by 2. 88 to the outside. 88 to the outside, coming around your front. The number 5 is coming up your rear bumper. 6 and 35 behind you, 7 cars, single file behind you. The line behind you, about 5 cars behind you, starting to break to the outside. They're coming around the outside, they're 3 car lengths back. 5 car lengths back, sorry. You got the 6 and 35, 44's on the apron. All right, you're clear of the 44. The 6 is behind you, 35 and 9. That's single file behind you. 14 is side by side with the 9, 6 car lengths back on the outside. So you got a group on the outside making a run, 6 car lengths back. 6 and 35, single file behind you. Number 9 is closing up to the 35. The 5.
So some pretty cool stuff right there happening in the spotter channel between Ian and Tim Habia. Tim, of course, acting as the spotter, Rick. We've got one more in the infield care center. I believe you caught up with him, the driver of number 46 of Kyle Wellman.
Kyle Wellman, you got Rick and Chris up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yep, I got you.
Hey, man, good to see that you're out of the TRJ Karting Infield Care Center, man. Glad to see you're okay. Tell us what happened.
Just during that last big wreck, I got slowed up just fine, and I was out of it, and then everybody behind me just didn't hit the brakes or something and just slammed me, and I went flipping. It was a great time.
Yeah, you had a little Ryan Newman moment there for a second, man. I'm glad you're okay. Obviously, that car done for the night?
Yeah, I spent about 7 minutes fixing it, and it just got slower and slower each time, so I think the engine was just done for.
Oh, man, that is a bummer. Hey, listen, you gave it a hell of a round here at Daytona tonight. We look forward to seeing you next week, but that is unfortunate, buddy.
Oh, yeah, hey, we got 4th place in stage 1, so there's some points back.
There you go. You got a little bit there, man. Is there anybody on that car you need to thank here tonight?
Mostly just got to thank the Dr. Squatch Racing team. These last couple weeks at Super Speedways, they've been helping me out with communications and all that. And thanks to Brian McRae for setting that team up.
That's awesome, man. Hey, listen, sorry that you had the bad luck here tonight, but hey, listen, we'll get them next week.
You betcha. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was Kyle Wellman, driver of the number 46, going to try and limp her home here tonight. But up front, Dalton Kilroe is your race leader. Kilroe's led 27 laps here tonight, Rick. By far more than anybody else, and that fresh air seems to be doing the 41 pretty darn good.
Well, you know, Chris, as he said there earlier when we talked to him after he took over stage 1 there, he said the car was overheating a little bit when he was behind somebody. So right now, that 41 being happy, leading this pack out here. One guy who's not happy with his car, the 92 of Blake Decker. We saw as Dalton Kilroe was going around him, Blake Decker moved up to the outside towards the outside wall and actually got into the wall. He's heading down pit road right now.
Yeah, the 92 of Blake Decker being scored 7 laps down in 21st position, now taking over the 20th position over Brandon Dennis. Dennis not able to continue on with this one. A few cars out there on pit road trying to get the repairs done. Speaking of, Terry Foster, one of those drivers, unfortunately, Rick, and he is beat up all over the place. There's not a very straight panel on any of that car, unless maybe you're talking about the roof.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, the aerodynamics are very important here at Daytona. If you can't keep up with the car in front of you, you're either just doing your thing and running the laps. But hey, you know, at least he's out there. He's running those laps. He's going to try to reclaim as many points as he can. He had something to be proud of, though, here tonight, Chris. He ran through, you know, especially stage one, man. He and the whole team are doing just a fabulous job running up there towards the front. Just not his night here in Daytona.
It's really unfortunate. TNA was looking really good. They still got one driver running up there, Rick, running in second spot right now. It's number 3 of Corey Sherman of TNA Motorsports. He's got a battle on the outside with the 88 of Jamie Walker. Walker trying to get up towards the front. He's got the 5 of Hank Caston behind him, along with the 14 of Jeff Price. The 81 is running up there. That's Trenton Sneed. And all 4 of those drivers, including the 71 of Andrew Beach, trying to make that top lane work. So far, Rick, it really hasn't been the fast lane. Although once in a while, the guy up front in that top lane able to sneak down and take the lead away. Although right now, Jamie Walker has not been able to do it with the 41. Dalton Kilroy leading the way.
You know, one of the big things right now that Jamie Walker needs, Chris, he needs that 5 machine of Hank Caston to really get up onto that back bumper, maybe bring in a little bit of the 14 there and get those cars up there a little bit closer to give him that push to try to get past Kilroy. But right now, 88 doing what he can. And we know Jamie, he is very, very cautious. He is very controlling on how he deals with his race car. And you know that he's patient as heck. So he's just waiting for the right time. But right now, he is really wishing that 5 of Hank Caston would really get up in that back bumper and give him a good push.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, on the inside, Corey Sherman definitely giving the push to the 41 as he is on the rear bumper trying to get it done. The Shermanator tries to clear the 88 and does. Right now, if you were to pop up top, but he doesn't have time. The 16 also right there, running a little low. Oh, the 6 and the 35 almost get together. 2 Dr. Squatch teammates.
Yeah, it's one of those scary things, Chris. When you're in the backstretch, you know, you can kind of do it obviously a little bit more than you can when you go into the turns, and that's something that I usually do there if I'm pushing you or somebody else. Is I use that time to maybe kind of get my eyes on the rest of the track, see what's going on. You move out just a little bit, get some fresh air inside your car to get it cooled off a little bit, but you don't lose that draft and you kind of hang on to that guy next to you. But that's what those guys are doing. You know, you can see as they go through the corner there, they're staying pretty steady. But when you're doing that, I mean, you know, it's hard to see if you go into a cockpit view of one of those cars. Oh, look at Corey Sherman going to the outside, picking up Jamie. Holy cow, Dalton Kilroy has to move up. That was scary.
Kilroy tries to go up for the block, can't quite do it. Corey Sherman leads that last lap, and Sherman has a huge advantage as we go under the caution one more time here from Daytona. And that is unbelievable. I believe Corey Sherman taking stage number 2, Rick.
Well, you know, that was something I was going to say. I mean, look at the number on the side of that car, Chris. You know he knows what he's doing here at Daytona. I mean, Austin Dillon, a heck of a driver, has won a Daytona 500. Oh, wait, no, I'm not talking about Austin Dillon. Nobody cares about that kid. You know, Dale Earnhardt, obviously. He's out there doing what he has to do, and that was a move right from the Dale Earnhardt school of racing right there when he moved up on that outside lane. Said, hey, listen, Dalton, I don't mind sitting here helping you, but I got to go.
Unbelievable. And to stage number 2, Corey Sherman getting it done. The Shermanator out there, and he means business here tonight, and he just proved it, Rick. Why don't we get him up here and do a very quick interview, then we're going to drop into a commercial real quick.
All right, let me just find him. He's way down here. I got to move some of these rooms around here, but there he is. Hey, Dale Earnhardt, you got Rick and Chris up here in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Hey, Shermanator, Corey Sherman, driver number 3, man. What a move you made there right at the last minute, man. Congratulations on winning stage number 2.
Yeah, thanks. I was hoping that I could get that enough room to get in front of Jamie to pull in front of him. It just worked out perfect for that.
Oh, man, you did a fabulous job, man. Number 1, I love your number. Okay, I love your car. It's not quite the right yellow, but you know what? It looks good on the Shermanator, man, and you just made us proud, man, and I know you made the guys down there at TNA proud, so good job.
Yeah, they're it's a disappointment they got wrecked out, but yeah, I got to find some new partners out here now.
Well, you know what, man? You're a good driver. I don't think you're going to have a problem with that, man. So congratulations. Anybody on the number 3 need to thank as you head down pit road?
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, buddy. Take care.
And with that, we are going to go ahead. And if you guys missed the intro to tonight's race, fear not. We're going to bring it back to you one more time. It's all about Daytona here from Daytona International Speedway. We'll be right back. Man, I don't know the name of the song. I just know that is what racing is about right here at Daytona International Speedway on the sand, Rick. And man, oh man, is that cool, man. I could watch that 100 times and not get bored.
It definitely is a good video there. I'm glad that we found it there, that slow day at work, man, because it has been really cool. But man, let me tell you, going down to Daytona, seeing all the different, videos and stuff at the track and a couple other places that we went, man, it's just amazing. And I know after I went down there, and even while I was there, man, you just go out on the beach, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. You're out there, you're thinking a little bit, and then you're like, what was it like? And you grab your phone, you pull up an old YouTube video, and it's just amazing what those guys used to do.
Absolutely. Getting ready to go back to the green flag as the pace car lights are off. The 41 on the outside, your race leader, it's Dalton Kilroe on his inside. Rick, it's going to be second place runner Hank Caston, the 35 of Brian McRae. Going to be starting on the outside in fourth spot. Corey Sherman, the last of the TNA members who really has a chance here tonight, going to be starting in third. Want to thank everybody once again for coming on out here to the Blazing Pedals, sponsored by TRJkarting.com here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Guys, if you haven't done it yet, make sure to check out TRJkarting.com for all of your sim and karting racing needs. Make sure to check out Tim, man. He is awesome.
That's the thing, man. I mean, not only if you're not into karting, he's got so much stuff over there. Just amazing stuff. I mean, the stickers have held up well on the toolbox. They've held up well on the back of my truck. My sweatshirts are holding up good. You know me, Kirk. I wear these things all the time, and they haven't worn at all.
I'm wearing my hoodie right now.
Yeah.
Going back under green here from Daytona International Speedway, and Dalton Kilrow leads the way. He's bringing the 35 of Brian McRae with him. If those two can sneak down to the inside, they have a chance of really doing something special here tonight. And look at that. McRae does move down into that second spot. Hank Caston in the 5, running in 3rd. Corey Sherman in the 3, running in 4th position. Nico Kie trying to get it on in his number 9 here tonight on the outside. The 5, the 3, and the 9 go to the outside. The 68 of Ryan Wash with the damage to the rear end, trying to make that thing go. The 68 running in 5th spot. And that's unbelievable, Rick. Look at the damage on the rear end of that 68 machine.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like it's slowing him up much. I mean, you can definitely tell that he's off pace just a little bit, but not much. He's staying in that draft, and he might be okay, especially with the help from the rear. But man, let me tell you one guy. Maybe I missed this, Chris. Maybe you talked about it already. But when that caution came out for the stage, the 16 Ian Habiak ran out of gas, had to get pushed back to pit road by the 18. But Ian back out there, sitting in 15th position right now.
Yeah, how does that work out? You got. It's really unfortunate because it does put him down a lap. But Ian Habiak under the caution, running out of fuel, and man, you're cutting it really close on these stage races, and I get it. You know, you're trying to get every ounce of petrol and everything. You know, you're trying to get it all out on the track, and he did, Rick, almost to a fault, because under caution, he runs out of fuel.
And, you know, one of the guys I was talking to, that's why I wasn't sure. I mean, I got a lot of messages going on here, especially on TeamSpeak, but you know, Tim's like, I'm done. I'm like, what do you mean you're done? I look, I'm like, is Ian out of gas? He's like, yeah, we thought we had enough, but and we're running close, but I guess we're running a little too close.
Yeah, Tim has been chatting with me all through this race, and it's been pretty cool trying to keep it up. But Dalton Kilrow, your race leader right now with the 35 of Brian McRae. He's right behind him in the 35, looking really racy tonight, Rick. And you know, we saw him earlier on kind of towards the rear of the field, and now Brian McRae doing what he wants to do with that Dr. Squatch machine. He's running up in the top 5, even with the damage to the left front, and there's just a little bit there.
I mean, these guys are doing some amazing things with these cars, Chris. Usually you get a little bit of damage and it puts you out here at Daytona.
35 machine, he's a good pusher right now, and one I wouldn't mind having behind me. You know it's going to be clean. And can the 35 push the 41 of Dalton Kilrow to the race lead and to the race win? To the lead, Dalton Kilrow has no problem. The win is coming in, about 40 laps, Rick.
Yeah, I was going to say, we got 39 laps left to go. Now that they cross that start-finish line, let me tell you, Dalton's pretty happy to see who's behind him right now. But the question is McRae going to be happy taking that spot there, or is he going to want to try to get past that 5 and then move up? Kind of like what Corey Sherman did there to win stage number 2. Right now, that 5 looking fast, getting a huge push out there from the 3 of the Shermanator. Shermanator kind of looking, but just trying to get his car to settle down a little bit. Dalton Kilrow fighting back on the inside right now. Brian McRae definitely helping him out. Those guys working really, really good together.
That Corey Sherman is a pushing machine right now. He wants the front.
He does. You can see it. He wants to get Caston over there, hoping Caston moves down. But right now, Sherman doesn't have much help there. The 9 of Okie sitting back there just kind of doing what I would probably be doing, Chris. I mean, this is exactly how the Shermanator got to be where he was, as we saw there before his teammates got taken out of that big caution there. You know, he held back a little bit, and I think that was a pretty smart move.
Yeah, it's working out for him so far here, being a little cautious. Look, there's still a lot of race to go here, Rick, with 38 laps to go. No need to push quite yet. You know, you want to wait for that 15 or so laps to go. When you've got about 30 miles left, it's time to drop the hammer.
Yeah, and that's something that's on every driver's mind right now. You know, they're all sitting there going, okay, I just got to be patient, got to be smart. And that's what they're doing, man. Right now, they're all kind of separating just a little bit. Right now, only really 2 cars up there trying to do anything on that outside lane. Okie is falling back a little bit as Jamie Walker in the 88 gets by him. And here comes the 6 of Derek Paulson trying to get up to that back bumper there of Ian Haviuk in that ERJ Karting Toyota. Okie finally stuck up to the back bumper of the GoDaddy machine. Still got a little bit of a gap, but I think he's just playing in a car. I mean, that's what I would be doing, man. You got to be cautious at this time because you know this is when everybody wants to make a move. You know, we got 36 laps left to do it. Like you said, I would be waiting until about 15 to 10 to go before I really started pouring it on, but these guys are starting to get itchy.
They've been itchy all race, Rick. Let's call it how we see it here. These guys have been pushing hard all race long, and now we're starting to get to the twilight of this race here with 36 laps to go. And although we have a lot of racing to go, these guys still itching to try and lead the way. Speaking of leading the way, Dalton Kilroe has led 42 laps, make it 43 as he crosses the start-finish line. Kilroe with that Turn 3 Racing Network engine looking really solid out there.
You know, I'll say it again, that 41 very happy being out there in front. The 5 probably very happy also because he's got that nice clean air there on the outside lane. Everybody else kind of pushing up. You see some guys, they're falling back, and I think they're doing that, A, to be cautious, and B, hoping that they get a little bit of air in the radiator to cool that car down.
Oh, absolutely. You got to keep it cool. And so far tonight, Rick, 4 cautions, 2 of them 4 stage-ending flags, 12 laps, 20 different lead changes. Oh, my.
I mean, that's just Daytona, baby. And let me tell you, these guys, you know, I know a couple of the drivers disappointed in the cautions, but you know what? Only having 2 actual cautions so far, this far into the race, Chris, not bad at all at Daytona. I mean, even the Cup guys can't go all the way through with no caution.
No, definitely not. And we saw that last Sunday.
Right now, Hank Caston has the lead on that outside lane, but here comes the 41 with another push there from Brian McRae in the 35 Dr. Squatch machine. Dalton Kilroe retakes the lead as they come back down through. They head into the trioval. This is where it gets tricky, man. I mean, those lines, it's a little narrow, you're fast. The banking evens out a little bit.
Hey,
you know one thing you haven't done yet, buddy?
Well, I'm looking over here. And I want to say congratulations to Joey Logano for winning today's race.
Never heard of her.
And Matty D for coming in second. That's the one I was looking for. Matty D coming in second. He is quickly becoming one of my faves there in the NASCAR series.
And driving for the iconic number 21 Wood Brothers, baby.
Yes, sir.
Matt Benedetto. I can't say his name, but man, he's really pouring it on, man. It's good to see that he got a ride. But, you know, I was talking, man, there's one thing you haven't done. You haven't done a cockpit view yet.
You want to do a cockpit view?
I mean, if I were you, I would do a cockpit view maybe with the race leader just to see the banking, but, you know, pulling to somebody like Brian McRae just to see. So that way the viewers out there can actually see that when you're behind another car, it's kind of tough to see what's going on.
Ooh, we got some action on the track right now as the 5 tried to move down, didn't have enough room. Hank Caston in the sucker hole. We've got Corey Sherman on the far outside. Caston is the one with the help. Corey Sherman trying to do it by himself on the far outside. The 5 is able to hold on. Hank Caston gonna push Corey Sherman back. Sherman on the far outside, gonna have to come back in behind the 6 car. And now, Rick, we're gonna go ahead and, I don't know, maybe we'll hop on Brian McRae's car. As they cross the start finish line, I'm watching Brian McRae's steering input, Rick. And the other thing I'm listening for is the throttle input. And you can hear he's not running full throttle. And you don't have to when you're in the draft like this. McRae able to save a little bit. And if he can get a run on the outside, he can put the throttle to the floor, try and get around the 41. But right now, the 5 of Hank Caston and Jamie Walker in the 88 trying to just stay right where they are, and that's stopping McRae from going further anymore. But he gives a good push to Don Kilroy. You see the 5 and the 88 kind of disappear out of the windshield. You can't see them anymore there, as the 41 leads another lap here at Daytona International Speedway. Brian McRae doing a very good job here, trying to get on the bumper when he can, but being very careful with the steering inputs, Rick.
You're absolutely right, Chris. I mean, that is one of the key things that you need to do. You need to be very, as he goes, Dalton Kilroy. Not sure exactly. Maybe he's trying to set up, maybe thinking, I don't know.
Kilroy kind of made a little boo-boo there. Goes way down the inside, regathers the inside lane. That gives Hank Caston the race lead. And the 35 trying to close that door for the 5 machine. Right now he's got Ryan Wash in the 68 right behind him. Wash a little banged up in the back, but what we've seen so far is he is able to push a car pretty darn well in the 68 machine. The 35 battling now for the race lead, trying to win, lead one here is the 35 machine.
I mean, the one thing that's going to hurt there, the 35, the 68 takes a little bit to get up to that back bumper, Chris. Once he does, the way that the air actually moves across these cars, he's able to kind of hang it out and do what he has to do there to help the 35. And, of course, this lap traffic up here could come into play here just a little bit. You see Hank Caston moving down. They're going to be going 3 wide here. Those guys staying up on top, just let the drivers go through. Oh, boy.
Oh, the 18 gets in the wall. And we've got another one going. Corey Sherman involved. As the caution comes out.
There's nobody out there on the racetrack that feels so bad right now more than the 18.
Jason Powell bringing out the caution, Rick. We're going to have to go back and take a look and see what happened. As the 18 and the 35, or excuse me, the 85 are racing together, both damaged machines. Race control says the 41 of Don Kilrow announced that he was going to drop back to the end of the field, so that was no surprise to them. But look at this, the 18 and the 85. Oh, the 85 really, oh boy. All right, let's go on over to race control, see if we can hear what they say about this one.
Hi, you're going to be up like burn down like that.
1885. Looks like, oh man, this is a tough one.
Yeah, what the fuck? McChesney, why in the fuck would you be down like that?
Well, Jamie comes up into him, but Jamie didn't cause the wreck.
Look how low he is, though.
Yeah.
It's just lap cars. Stay up high. You're going to be up like burn down like that in the lane. Huge neck code there. See that?
Kinda.
Oh no, it wasn't.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Chesney
not really.
Chesney pulled it to. Why didn't you just back out of the gas and make the corner? I would get that to 85 for just being in the way. I mean, he turns left as the back gets there. Watch it. I can watch the nose of his car like turn left as the back gets there. You can't do that. You have to give them you have to give them more room than you give anybody else when you're a lap car like that.
All right, guys, that one was between the 85 and the 18. 85 is underneath the 18 as lead cars are coming. And
Sorry about the
in
language.
Left rear of the 18, spinning them around. That's going to be on the 85 EOL first strike.
And there you have it, Rick. They're calling it. And after a really good pit stop, Brian McRae going to be your race leader here tonight.
Yeah, that's tough, Chris. When you're a lap down car, I mean, you're obviously trying to run your lap, especially if you get somebody behind you or in front of you. You know, you're just kind of do what you have to do. But one thing that people might not understand if they don't race on this service here at iRacing is that there is aerodynamics with the car. You get too close to that wall, it actually sucks you in, just like it does in real life.
Yeah, so Don Kilrow drops back and narrowly avoids an incident. So the 41 still out there trying to get it done. But right now your race leader, Brian McRae. Ryan Wash right behind him. The 41 of Dalton Kilrow going to be in third spot. Hank Caston in fourth. Jamie Walker fifth. Last season's champion in the number 6, Derek Paulson running in 6th spot. Jeff Price in the E14 running 7th. Trenton Sneed in the 81 running 8th. Patrick A running in 8th spot. Paulson coming down pit road. Habiak on the lead lap running in 10th on pit road. So getting his lap back is Habiak. And going to be running in 10th spot. Brian McRae, your race leader. And I had to right to race control for just a moment there. Apologizing for the language. And I say, you know what, guys, don't worry about it. That is in the moment. And it is what it is. Let it go. I don't care. Brian McRae, Dr. Squatch team. Make sure if you haven't tried Dr. Squatch soap, you really need to. In fact, try out their code CESRA15 to get 15% off from your first order with them. I recommend Bay Rum Pine Tar and more Bay Rum.
Definitely got to have Bay Rum. Peter Citrus is really good. Now, folks, listen, I'm not saying that I don't get paid by Dr. Squatch or Dr. Squatch Racing, but let me tell you, I was one of the first ones here at Turn 3 Racing Network to order some. I ordered it. I usually have, and now I live up here in Vermont, so it gets pretty cold here in the winter. Usually in the winter, my skin is very dry. My fingers crack like you wouldn't believe, and I haven't had that problem. I mean, Chris can attest to it. He sees me every day during the week, and there's no problem, man. And I'm glad I used that Cestra 15 code. Save 15%, and I've made quite a few orders since then.
I am almost out, Rick. But because of Dr. Squatch, I gotta say, Rick, you and I are actually gonna start making soap.
Yeah, we're gonna give it a try.
Starting this week, I've actually got everything we need coming, and I've got a lot of support. Of course, you want to help, and my daughter wants to help. We're gonna make it a family affair, even though we're not related, you and I. But you know, my kids call you Uncle Rick for a reason.
That's right.
Pace car lights are off, Rick, and we are getting ready to go back to green flag racing. But I want to thank everybody for coming on out to the Turn 3 Racing Network. You're watching the Blazing Pedals, sponsored by TRJKarting.com, and we are at Daytona International Speedway. This is not the first race of the season. We were at ISM, aka Phoenix, last week, but to Rick and I, this is the official start of the Blazing Pedals season. Can't wait to see who wins this one. It's been hellacious so far. Brian McRae in the Dr. Squatch, number 35. Your race leader, the 68 of Ryan Wash to his outside. Dalton Kilroe, who's led 50 laps, going to be starting in third spot. And here we go under the green flag one more time.
I just love Daytona, man. You see those pylons there on the start-finish line where the flag stand, the flagger sits, or stands, I should say. That's what they call it, a flag stand. The Lone Green, these guys doing a good job. Brian McRae moves up onto the outside. Chris, here comes Dalton Kilroe once again, even though he went back down a little ways with the 41 leading once again. Got that beautiful number 68 out there giving him some help.
68, little bit of damage to the rear end, but what we've seen, Rick, is he can really push cars, and if that is okay with him, then it is okay with us, because he's putting on a hell of a show out there tonight.
You know, he should definitely feel okay for what he's doing, Chris. Usually damage on cars, even no matter how small it is, usually hampers you here at Daytona, but these K&N cars are strong, man. They love this kind of racing. And Ryan Wash doing a heck of a job there in the 68, pushing these guys. And I don't know if he's actually happy just being there pushing, but he is for right now. We got 20 laps left to go, brother.
20 to go. The 41 of Dalton Kilroe leading the way. Hank Caston on the 5 car. He's to the outside trying to get it done, and he's doing it with side drafting. But here comes the 16 of Ian Habiak. Down from 1 lap down, trying to get back into this one. Ian Habiak running in 4th spot right now.
You know, honestly, dude, this is what I love, and I mean love, brother, about Daytona. Ian Habiak ran out of fuel. He had to get pushed down. He was down a couple laps. He's worked his way back through, and now he's sitting there racing, trying to get that number 16 up to the lead.
Unbelievable effort from the Habiaks, trying to get that 16 up front. Ian Habiak right now being scored in 5th spot. Dalton Kilroe, the 41-year race leader, and he is being pushed by a damaged number 68 of Ryan Wash. Wash doing a great job trying to get a good finish here this week. Rick, Dalton Kilroe in the 41, he has led 52 laps of this event so far. And on a super speedway, that is something to talk about.
Look at Paulson right now, Chris, out there on the way outside lane there. Oh, man.
Woo. You can tell this one is starting to come to a close with 18 laps to go, Rick. As these top 20 drivers are just all over each other, trying to get this one to the checkered flag here at Daytona.
You know, honestly, this is the point in the race, Chris, where even your best friends, your teammates, all they are is another car out there on track. It is now go time. You have to do whatever you have to do to try to take the lead and bring home the checkers here.
That's it, exactly.
You guys might be best friends, you might be teammates, but right now that's all thrown right out the window. I know, because you actually left me hanging and you're taking me out with a Logitech, if I remember correctly.
I would take you out in a heartbeat if I had to right now. With 17 laps to go, the 41 of Dalton Kilroe, still your race leader. Hank Caston trying to lead that second row towards the front. And look at this, Derek Paulson in the 6th. He was looking to make the third lane go, as he's got the 88 of Jamie Walker trying to get himself up towards the front. The 9 of Nico Kie really is trying to get there. The 88 has, oh, look at this. The 9 goes down to the bottom. Kie working the inside now. Here comes Jamie Walker on the outside with 16 laps to go. Who is it going to be, guys? Out there in chat, let me know.
I mean, I can't really guess. I mean, obviously, I would love to see Dalton Kilroe, you know, take it with the number 41 Daddy O's machine. I'd like to see the Shermanator after having one heck of a race out there. I'd love to see Ian Haviuk. I mean, the guy comes back from running out of gas. I mean, the kid's been growing season after season, Chris, and I'm so proud of him. I mean, you know, I want everybody to win, but only one winner can be. And right now, man, it is hard because it's anybody's race.
Yeah, it really is at this point. 15 laps to go as they cross the start-finish line. Dalton Kilroe is your race leader. The 5 on the outside. Hank Caston trying to get it done. Ryan Walsh in the 68 on the inside, pushing for everything he's got in the 41, is making do with that push from Ryan Walsh. Ian Haviuk to the inside, trying to put the nose on the 68 to get it going. Everybody on the inside wants to go. The outside looking good too. Oh, the 5 gets crossed. Oh no, Ian Haviuk goes in. The Shermanator trying to hold on. He now gets T-boned by the 9 of Nico Kie. And it is another big one with Dalton Kilroe crossing the start-finish line with 14 laps to go under caution. Holy cow. Here we go again.
Well, I mean, we talked about this early in the broadcast, Chris. This is exactly what's going to happen. I mean, all bets are off when you only have a few laps left to go.
Absolutely. Oh, and this one was ugly from the get-go. We're watching.
You know, I think a little bit of my, you know, I mean, obviously the 68 there got a little swirly.
And the 16 is on the bottom side, gets into the back bumper of the 68, maybe a little bit low there. Oh, the 68 goes up into the 5. The 16 tries to hold on, can't do it. The 6 and the 9 get collected in. And Ian Habiot going for a ride in the infield. The 3 of Corey Sherman gets pounded. And Rick, we're going to have to go. I don't even know who to blame on this one. I'm not going to bother trying. Dalton Kilroe, your race leader. We're going to go over to the race control, see what they got to say about this whole ordeal.
5. That's going to be put on the 68. DOL for strike.
Explain that there was net code, but because of the bobble is why we give it to him.
There was a little bit of net code, but because of the bobble, that's why we gave it to the 68.
Killed Derek. Ryan got killed.
On the 68, DOL for strike.
Explain that there was net code, but because of the bobble is why we give it to him.
There was a little bit of net code, but because of the bobble, that's why we gave it to the 68.
He'll up a lot more cars. We're gonna be down to like 5 cars.
All right, looks like it's going to the 68 of Ryan Wash.
And I mean, I kind of understand that, Chris. I mean, the 68 got a little bit, you know, I want to say squirrely there. He moved up into the 5. A little bit of net code there, I think, somewhere, but that bobble, that just, oh, you saw what happened. That's the thing about pack racing, man. I mean, one little mistake like that, I mean, on any other track, might be able to cruise off from that. But, man.
That really is a shame. With 13 laps to go, here we are under caution at Daytona. Going to bring you aerial coverage presented by TRJkarting.com. TRJkarting.com is your #1 online source for karting components, engines, and safety gear. They offer a huge selection for the novice and to the professional, and a dedicated section for sim racers. No matter how you do it, your desire and passion to go fast fuels them. Their focus is to put their customers into victory lane, and Rick, they certainly do.
Oh, they most certainly do. I mean, head on over to their Facebook page also, and you can see all the victories. You can see the smiles and all the kids and all the other people's faces that Tim helps out there at TRJ Karting. It's just amazing, man. I love watching it, watching all these young kids, the stuff that Tim does for, you know, the people that can't afford, you know, he rents out tires and stuff like that. It's just amazing what the ABX do for the karting scene. And, you know, there's a lot of other companies out there that could be doing a heck of a lot more than what they do, but here's little Tim out there doing everything that he possibly can to make sure that these kids are out there having fun, learning racecraft and sportsmanship, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, that was tough for a few drivers out there. So close to the finish, doing so well. I mean, Corey Sherman, he was the last bastion of hope for the TNA Motorsports cars. Ian Habiak got taken out on that one, and it's just too bad, Rick. All these drivers getting taken out, but right now we've got something a little different here, because Jeff Price, the 14 car, the Mobile 114, going to be your race leader here when we come back to the green flag. The 81 of Trenton Sneed going to be starting in second, Don Kilrow in third. Pace car lights are off, Rick. 2.5 miles to go before we go back under the green flag. And when we take that green flag, it's going to be 25 miles to go with 10 laps.
And that, honestly, I mean, this track is huge, Chris. I mean, you and I, we've seen it in real life, man. I mean, iRacing does a good job, but they don't put it into perspective, really, you know, when you're out there looking. But let me tell you, 10 laps to go, it's going to fly by here with these cars going over 200 miles per hour. And it's anybody's race right now. I mean, we got some new runners out there. You know, my list of leaders, it can't even update anymore. Let me tell you, I got my eyes on that 41 right there, Chris. He's going to be starting third. He's going to be on that inside lane push, and Jeff Price there in the Ford, or actually the 81. I'm sorry, Trenton Sneed. And it's just going to get amazing.
Yeah, you've got Dolan Kilrow, Brian McRae, and the 9 of Nico Kie lining up nose to tail. And the one car that doesn't really have any damage there, Rick, is the 41, Dolan Kilrow, who has really gotten, I don't know how else to say this, he's gotten lucky here tonight.
He really has. I mean, Lady Luck's supposed to be coming next week when we head to Las Vegas, but no, right now it is all with Dalton Kilrow. And that 41, that car's looking nice and clean.
Well, you already kind of let it out of the hat, but we are going to Las Vegas next week as we go back under the green flag here tonight, Rick. Las Vegas coming up next Sunday night right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, and this restart, not exactly what we were expecting to see.
No, not at all, but look at Dalton Kilrow out there on the outside all by himself, Chris, using that side draft for the 81 and the 14 to try to get around these guys.
Dalton Kilrow by a fender.
Just for now, I mean, these guys, it's hard. Dalton has no help right now on that outside lane. The inside lane really starting to move forward there. The 81 giving the 14 a really good push. But Kilrow battling back, giving it everything that he possibly can there in the 41 to try to get back up front. And we know what that 14 does.
Yeah, he's trying to use that side draft, Rick, and the question is it going to be enough? Number one, he has an undamaged vehicle. He's the one out of the 3 drivers on screen right now that does have an undamaged vehicle. And look at that. Goes to the front. That is power right there. The Turn 3 Racing Network engine doing its job in the 41 as he goes back out front.
You know, I was going to say this totally different, but I'm going to make you happy. If you notice, Chris, the pace car this week tonight, here is the Porsche. The reason why is because the Ford Mustang doesn't have a motor. I put it in the 41 machine.
No kidding.
That's a lie. I just want to make you feel good. It's a Chevy motor through and through.
No, it's Ford. Go ahead, admit it. 8 laps to go. The 41 of Dalton Kilrow has the 14 of Jeff Price and Trenton Sneed in the 81 right behind him. Will it be enough? Ty Morosco in the 1 car, running in 4th spot, being followed by Ryan Wash. And Wash trying to take advantage, goes around the 1 of Ty Morosco. Here comes the 16 of Ian Habiuk. Back into the top 5.
And I want to apologize to the 88 of Jamie Walker, Chris. He was actually down there in the infield turn center, but, you know, with only a few laps left to go, all eyes are just on the leaders there. So Jamie said, see that we went back to green. I was treated release. We'll see you all next week. And good luck.
Yeah, good luck next week to Jamie. Sorry we missed you. Action heavy here tonight at Daytona. Not able to get with every driver, unfortunately. I'll tell you who we're with right now. It's Dalton Kilrow in the 41 machine. Kilrow getting it done. He's got the 14 and the 81, and they're trying to figure out, Rick, how do we set this guy up to try and get around him? Jeff Price, Trenton Sneed, the 14 and the 81 respectively. Dalton Kilrow has all the fresh air he could ask for as he crosses the start-finish line soon, right there, with 6 laps to go. He's led 62 laps here tonight, Rick. Huge, because the guy after him was Blake Decker with only 12 laps led here tonight.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Chris. Now, one of the best things that Dalton Kilrow can do is keep his eyes on that rear view, maybe drag the brake a little bit, keep that 14 really close, because with that nice clean car that Dalton has, it's going to be easy for him to get away. If he gets away too far, that's going to really set up the 14 and the 81 to go and make a push. But if Dalton can keep them close, he might have this thing in the bag. We got 6 laps left to go.
Now running a very good line right now. Definitely, like you said, Rick wants to kind of keep that gap down as little as possible. A gap can only be bad, and now the 14 and the 41 starting to separate themselves from Trenton Sneed and the 81 a little bit. And that could very much help the 41 of Dalton Kilrow. I want to thank everybody once again for coming on out to watch the Blazing Pedals, sponsored by TRJKarting.com right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Right now we've got 5 laps to go with Dalton Kilrow as the race leader, Jeff Price in the 14 running in 2nd spot, and 3rd belonging to Trenton Sneed.
And what a good run by Trenton Sneed starting out here tonight at Daytona with the Blazing Pedals, guys. Out there having a really good showing. I mean, hey, I'd be happy with a podium.
The 14 and the 81 teammates, Rick, as they are trying to figure out a way to get behind the 41 here tonight. Can Jeff Price and Trenton Sneed find their way to victory lane, or is it going to be Dalton Kilrow's race to win here tonight? Let's figure it out. Guys, if you're out there in chat, make sure to tell me, who do you think's going to win here tonight? Is it going to be Kilrow or somebody else? I want to know what you're thinking. Mark Arthur in chat. Hey, too bad we had one wreck take out that many cars. It's been a good race. Otherwise, you know what? It has been a good race. We've had just 6 cautions here tonight for 19 laps. Remember, 2 of those were for stage-ending cautions. 25 different lead changes, Rick.
And that's just the amazing part, Chris. I mean, that's Daytona. You know, that's super speedway racing. You're going to get a lot of guys out there who are going to be swapping out for the lead. Mark, I wouldn't worry about it too much. I mean, that's Daytona. You know, I mean, watch the Cup guys who do this thing for, you know, professional living. You know, they always have at least a big one, and it takes out a lot of cars.
At least one, including one scary one this last week. 2 laps to go here. Skittles checking in at the very end of the race. Skittles, unfortunately, the 88 of Jamie Walker, not making it to the end. And Jamie, I'm sorry we didn't catch you, bud. Well, just got a lot to talk about here tonight, but here we are, getting close to the white flag. Dalton Kilroe leading the way into turn 3.
You know, Jamie, even though you had that bad luck there, and it looks like you're going to be maybe 17th position here tonight, let me tell you, man, you were a workhorse tonight. Starting back at the back of the field, working your way up through. I would definitely take it as a win. I do apologize, like Chris said, that we weren't able to talk to you there when you got out of the infield care center.
The TRJkarting.com white flag is out. Dalton Kilroe, your race leader, the 14 and the 81 teammates trying to figure out a way around. Can't quite do it going into turns 1 and 2 because of a slower car. The 14 and 81 are teammates. The 14 scoots his way up to the top. The 81 comes down to fall. Then now back down single lane. The 41 trying to block as he is trying to win this race. It's Dalton Kilroe through the corner. The 14 has a run on the inside. Can't quite get to the back bumper of the 41. Now it's the 14 again to the inside. The 81 trying to get there to make a push. Maybe not able to do it, and across the start-finish line. Kilroe, Jeff Price, and Trenton Sneed, your top 3 finishers here tonight. Ryan Wash, Ian Habiuk rounding out the top 5. Ty Morosco, Andrew Beach, Brian McRae, Patrick A., and David Bennett rounding out the top 10 here tonight, Rick. What a freaking race here tonight at Daytona.
What an outstanding race these guys did here at the World Center of Racing, Chris. It is all done. The checkered flag has waved. Dalton Kilroe brings the 41 in, like you said, man. Man, these guys racing right towards the end. What an outstanding job.
Unbelievably good action here from Daytona. Remember, next Sunday night, it's Las Vegas. Here on the Turn 3 Racing Network with the Blazing Pedals guys. We're going to step away for just one moment as these guys hit their celebratory marks, and we'll be back for the top 3 finishers and their interviews. Guys, we'll be right back. And we're back live right here from Daytona. We've got the top 3 finishers ready to talk to us. And first of all, we're going to start off with the number 81 of Trenton Sneed. Trenton, this is Chris and Rick up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Man, a 3rd place finish for that Pontiac Grand Prix. You got to be pretty darn happy about that.
Yeah, but coulda, woulda, shoulda scenario. We first like to thank everyone at Pontiac Summit Racing, Jeff and Beach. We were planning, but just could not get a friggin' run. But yeah, congrats to Dalton. He ran the better race.
It was a lot of fun watching that finish here, and you had a little bit of a push on the 14, but not quite enough on that last lap. Was that the plan all along?
Plan was just kind of lay it back, hold it nice and steady, kind of just get ready. And because Jeff, I was really able to push Jeff and catch up to the pack. Like right before that final caution, me and Jeff, we were like 3 seconds behind the pack, and I literally just pushed us all the way back up there. I was like, yeah, we can push us. We get us a good 1-2 maybe, but. Why is my crew chief out talking? Not enough data. What the crap? Okay. But yeah, just plan was to get a run. I'd push them. Maybe take it 3 wide, make it cool for TV, but I couldn't get a big enough run.
Well, it was a lot of fun, bud, and you did thank a few people out there, but anybody else on the 81 team that you need to thank tonight?
I'd like to thank Remington Rifles, Dr. Pepper. Why is crew chief apps telling me? Oh my God. Remington, Dr. Pepper, Turpentine Creek, AC Delco, Mobile One, just all of General Motors, Jeff Beach, thank you for broadcasting. Thank God for allowing my internet to actually function along with my VR. That's not all I got.
All right, Trenton. Hey, congratulations on a 3rd place run tonight, bud. We'll look forward to seeing you next week at Las Vegas.
10-4, yes, sir.
That is Trenton Sneed, driver of the number 81. And Rick, I believe you caught up with the 14 of Jeff Price.
I did. Jeff Price, driver of the number 14 Mobile One Pontiac. You got Rick and Chris up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
What's happening, fellas? How are you tonight?
Oh, man, we're doing fabulous, but not as fabulous as you, man, there with your teammate running 2 and 3. You guys were trying to do everything you possibly could to get around Mr. Kilrow there. What an outstanding job. Tell us about your race a little bit.
It was kind of up and down. This is the first official race with this league. We missed it last week. The whole thing kind of had me. Ryan Newman last week kind of messed with me that I missed the start. So I was like, well, we'll get in this week, try to put on a good show. I got the teammates with me. We kind of got jumbled up in the first stage and got a little mixed up. Second stage went okay for us, but I got in that early incident into the second stage. And third stage, it was just trying to survive. Ended up spinning it out to keep from hitting the wall in that last wreck. And thought there was more people restarting with us, but there wasn't. There was only 3 decent cars left. I'm like, well, I'll just let the 41 in. So I kind of gave it away. But, I've raced around Dalton for a while in different other leagues. We never really talked very much, but it's good to see a good one win. And it, first insane race, really. I had a lot of fun. And this is going to be a pretty good league for me.
Yeah. Well, I definitely think so, man. I mean, you did a fabulous job out there. I mean, obviously, it's always hard at Daytona or, Talladega, stuff like that, big super speedways to get there with your teammate. But, man, you did it at the end. So congratulations on that and taking over second. Is there anybody on that number 14 you'd like to thank?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to thank my sponsor, Turpentine Creek Wildlife Refuge over in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Guys, they're really an awesome thing. People get these big cats, like tigers and stuff, and they will get them thinking they're pets, and they get bigger and they get out of control. So they end up getting mounted. They don't take good enough care for them, pretty much. So they go out and rescue them, and they have a place where you can go and visit them and donate money to them. It's turpentinecreek.org. It's an awesome place out there. Got a few different sponsors this year, so hopefully we can do some more outings, but I'm glad to get them up front.
All right, man. Well, hey, definitely. I'll be checking that out, man. Well, congratulations once again. We'll see you next week in Las Vegas now that we know that the Rocket Man's going to be okay.
Absolutely. I appreciate it, and I'm glad he's okay.
All right, buddy. Chris, that was Jeff Price, the driver of the number 14 Pontiac, doing a heck of a job out there, coming in second tonight.
And that leaves us with just one more driver to talk to, Rick. It's the driver of the number 41, Dalton Kilrow. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. Hey, it probably wouldn't happen if you didn't have one of those new Turn 3 Racing Network engines underneath the hood of that K&N car. Dalton, this is Chris and Rick in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, boys!
Yeah, buddy. Listen, it was a hell of a night for you. You got a stage win underneath the hood of that thing. You got the Turn 3 Racing Network hood engine underneath the hood of that thing. And you ended up bringing that baby home in first place. This has got to feel good for you, Dalton.
You know it, especially after last week's rough start to the season. Just Phoenix is never one of my good tracks, but being able to come back and get the season back on track at my home track and take the win feels amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool. And you know, the biggest thing of all, Dalton, is race number 2. You've already locked yourself into the chase, bud.
Yeah, that's another good thing about this. I know I'm definitely going to be in there. I'm hoping that this isn't the only thing that locks me in the chase. I'm hoping I get a couple others this season. But yeah, I'm always feeling myself as a super speedway kind of specialist, since that's about the only thing I can frickin' win on, and just feels good. Feels good to have that security.
Do you think they're partying down at Daddy O's right now?
Maybe. I think they're closed right now. So I don't think they're watching. But if they were watching, I hope they enjoy it, because that was a stressful last little 10-lap run.
I'll tell you what, bud, you definitely earned every single bit of it tonight. Look at that car. It's dirty on the front end, just a little bit of damage to the left front. And wow, it was an amazing race for you, Dalton. Congratulations, bud, once again.
Thank you.
Dalton Kilroe.
Chris ain't going to say it. Is there anybody on that number 41 you want to thank?
I was like, oh wait, he's not gonna do it. That's fine.
Just do it.
Obviously, you mentioned the Daddy O's Barbershop. They do amazing things to my hair. Everybody that was in here in the race that made it a much better race than ISM. It was just, even though there were a lot of big wrecks, it was still much better. A lot less cautions, which was good. Was able to have some good green flag racing. Thanks to Mark and Sam up in the admin booth for just taking the time out of their day to do what they do. TRJ Karting, Dr. Swatch Soap. Without them, this league wouldn't be as good as it is. And my teammates tonight, it was Ty Morosco, Ryan Wachaleski, Blake Decker, Corey Blevins, and Hayden Wheeler. Unfortunately, a lot of them got taken out in that first big one, but they helped kind of keep me calm as the race started winding down and the amount of clean cars kind of died off. So, geez, we did it.
Did it, buddy.
Awesome. All right, brother. Well, listen, next week it is Las Vegas, so go get geared up for that, and we will see you next week.
Obviously. Thank you, guys. Take care.
Don Kilroe, driver of the number 41, tonight's race winner here at Daytona. And man, what a race it was. Let's go ahead and take a look at the race results. Of course, Dalton Kilroe, Jeff Price, and Trenton Sneed, your first through third. Ryan Wash brings that beat up number 68 home in fourth spot. Oh, we pushed the wrong button there. Let's get back to, there we go. And Ian Habia comes home fifth spot. Ty Morosco in sixth. Andrew Beach and Brian McRae, seventh and eighth. Rounding out the top 10, it's going to be Patrick A. in ninth spot. David Bennett in 10th. 11th belongs to Nick Okie, and 12th, Hank Caston. In 13th position, Derek Paulson, Aaron Bockover of TNA Motorsports coming home in 14th position. Adrian Pedra in 15th, and 16th position belongs to Corey Sherman. In 17th, it's going to be Jamie Walker, Terry Foster in 18th position. Travis McChesney in 19th with Jason Powell in 20th. 21st belongs to Corey Rutherford in the 55. And 95 of Brendan Dennis coming home in 22nd. Blake Decker in 23rd in his number 92. Kyle Wellman finishes in 24th. In 25th position tonight, it's going to be Chris Williams with Jeff Hartline finishing 26th. Deshaun Gorham going to be 27th, and Corey Blevins in the 24 is going to finish 28th. Hayden Wheeler going to finish 29th. Marquise Smith trying to get this season going. Just unfortunate. The first two races so far are going to finish 30th tonight. And finishing in 31st is going to be Jacob Hopi in the 2 car, 78 laps down. Rick, this is exactly what we expected to see out of Daytona, and it definitely provided some spills and thrills.
You know, you're absolutely right, Chris. I mean, Daytona never ceased to amaze me, and these guys did a heck of a job out here tonight. I'm so happy for Dalton Kilroy. I'm also very happy for Ian Haybuck. I mean, he came back from a couple laps down to take over 5th position, man. That was just outstanding. These guys did a great job, and I'm looking forward to next week in Las Vegas.
Yep, next week it's going to be Las Vegas right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Chris and Rick in the booth bringing you all the action. And for Turn 3 Racing Network, guys, have an incredible night. Have an incredible weekend. We can't wait to see you next week. Have a good night, everybody.